Yo! Wait, can you guys hear me? Oh, wait. Okay, there we go. Now you should be able to hear me. That was the old one. Sweet. How's it going? Still can't hear me. Thanks. Gaslight him. Man, I love my chat. I boot up stream. First thing I get is, should we gaslight him? Should we tell him that his mic is muted even though we know it's not? Great chat. Do you know what's the smallest and highest roll on red speed on gear is? Well, technically, you always start off with a 3. And you can technically roll 2 forever, right? So it's just 2 times 5 plus 2 plus 3. So it's 13. Technically, if you're super, super, super unlucky, you can have a red that's 13. But majority of the time, you're going to average out to about 3, right? Because it's more weighted towards 3. So you're probably looking at like, I think the lowest red that I've seen so far is a 16. So how bricked up are you after times 2? Well, I have no money. I think that's probably the biggest thing about my situation is pretty much like, I don't have the money to roll my gear. So I went up a bunch of pieces. And sorry, I also was meant to eat, but I didn't want to delay the stream anymore. So I'm just gonna casually hear a little bit of ASMR chewing. Any reds? No, not a single red. Because I don't really have money to do much. And I got bored and I went ahead and did my 2K tokens. It didn't take that long. Because I realized I had to go back here and get all these for this week. Pretty much what I thought I'd do instead is kind of like just... There's a lot of people that watch these VODs. So I thought it would be better to like kind of just showcase where my account's at and talk about like where I'm going. Just for a very short stream today because I kind of need to fix my sleep schedule a bit. So I'm going to try to go to sleep a little bit early. So this way I can get in the rhythm of doing that. So yeah, but first I want to quickly do something. So if you guys want to win this event here, I did a bit of research, and if you voted already, there's an 83% chance that you picked wrong. Because this is not even close. It's so it's easier for your RTA opponent. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, people are going to see my stuff anyway over time, so I don't really care. But all these people right here, I'm sorry, you're not getting shit. The only way that you get anything here is if this is on like juiced up accounts. But I would say in terms of like just overall understanding the game and strategy, I would still give the edge to this team then, because they have, you know, outside of Gacha, who, you know, I haven't really seen him in PvP, so I don't know what he is. Everyone else here, I did a little bit of research for you. It is not even close. It's not even close. So I'm probably going to diss some of these content creators, to be honest with you. So I'm sorry if they end up hearing about this, but I have to be honest with you guys. So Mr. Pokey is still level 75. Where is it? I think it's this. This is Pokey. This is Pokey. Pokey's actually the weakest out of everyone. He is a guaranteed win for the other side. 100%. Because everyone is way, way, way past him. He clearly doesn't have an account manager. I'll give him props to that. And if he does, you should immediately fire him, Pokey. You should fire him. So again, like, unless they're all getting dev accounts, this guy is like literally just a free win, to be honest. It does not matter what if he has every character in the game, which I don't think he does. Yeah, he doesn't even have every character in the game. It doesn't matter. He's 75. He's not there. You're not getting that. And then YDCB. His is super easy. It's literally just, oh wait, no caps. I mean, his account's okay. Like, for someone who's like not, it doesn't look like he is an account manager or anything like that. Like, it's okay. He can do like these two Inferno modules. Not well. I don't know if he really got to push. But you know, this is honestly, I think this is the strongest account that they have, to be entirely honest with you. He is online right now grinding, so we'll see. I think that he is probably their strongest member. And then there's this other guy who, I mean, this guy is, I think it's Spanish. Sorry if I butchered it. This guy's Spanish right here, Lamulu, and he does like guides and stuff. He's okay. I think he can maybe give them a run for their money, but you know, he would have to match into Gacha Smack, who's probably the weakest member, but I still would say that it's favorable. Where is it? Which is Lamulu TV. And this is him. He's actually probably their strongest member, actually. Yeah, I said YDCB was. YDCB was much weaker when I looked at him just at the start of today when they showed this event. So he's been grinding. So maybe, I mean, he still doesn't have access. Like, he actually can farm like hell and stuff like. So pretty much the free one on this team side is Pokey's not beating anyone on Shazo's team. Not a single soul. He is getting 0-2'd. He is out. Okay. This guy, I mean, he can farm Nico, he can farm Hoyan, he can farm all the Infernos. So, you know, it's okay. I don't know what speed he has. He's kind of the wild card. I think that if there's anyone that can win and has like a chance to like, I wouldn't be surprised if they won, or I would say that like they have a chance. This is my voice cutting out sometimes? It shouldn't be. But yeah, this guy's like okay. But then like in comparison, where is it? Let's look at Gacha Smack side. Okay. So Gacha Smack is probably, in my opinion, their weakest player. And man, I forget what his name was. I think it's just Smack. Like this. No. Oh yeah, it is. This is him, Smacky. Yeah, this is him. So he is who I think is the weakest. Again, this could change, right? Because they could have been farming. Like, I looked at them like really early this morning when I knew that this event was coming. So like he can farm everything. Not really Ringotsuku. I don't think this is consistent for him because it's super slow. But everything else he can farm fine. So, and I think he's the weakest member. And the only reason why I think that Gacha could lose is he's really slow from what I've been told. From people that watch him, I've been told this guy's super slow. So I don't know if that's true or not. Again, that could change because he's not online. Well, he was online recently, so who knows what he's been getting from times 2 because he is a Giada player. So he could be farming this decently fast and consistently. No, physically, no, he's he's much more fit than me. Physically, he is much faster, probably. But yeah, he's like probably their weakest player. Shazo, we don't really need to talk about this guy. Like, he's probably their strongest member. out of everyone here. He should just be getting a win against all three of these guys. And then Jamesmer. So Jamesmer, I didn't know he's like a Thai. I think it's Thai, I think. Sorry if I got that wrong. He's a Taiwan. Jamesmer. And I think, yeah, so this guy's like a real player. He's like just a real player. So he's like kind of their strongest team member, I think. Or like I was surprised. I thought Shazo would be, but this guy could be the strongest. He has like pretty much all the characters for the most part. So he probably has a wider roster. But again, like I don't know the speed, but I'm like pretty he's doing this. So this guy should be able to just dominate. So and when you look at those, it's obviously not even close. It's not even close. Like this is super dominantly Team Nico Nana. Like they should wipe the floor with them. It looks like YDCB is starting to farm now, so we'll see. He only has like 2 hours left, but yeah, I mean, these guys should just absolutely wipe the floor with Pokey, Lamulu, and YDC. Lamulu probably has like the best chance, maybe YD after he farms, but we'll see. And you definitely want to win because getting more rewards, like obviously if you hit this, if you hit these, like, yeah, I want those. So by the way, this is not Han actually, this is Dapor. So if you guys were wanting to vote for Dapor, it's this because these players, and this will probably make your decision a little bit easier. This is in order of who was seeded. Now, the bottom is kind of messed up, to be honest with you. It is messed up. So you can't really see who's down here, but to be honest, you don't care about any of these players down here, besides Young. These three literally don't matter. Han doesn't matter. This is not Shiny. Shiny's this one right here. Doesn't matter. This guy from Europe doesn't matter. They're all like not going to be able to compete against them. Like it's just a complete smash. Like I had the privilege. 1 and 2 are my guilties, by the way. The one I voted for and Kecker. These are both in Scarlet. So pretty much, yeah, they couldn't be bothered to translate it. Yeah. Pretty much like these guys got absolutely smashed, which is like, you know, Han got smashed. This guy, whoever this is supposed to be, got smashed. Like all three of these players, when it came to the top 8 and they played for seeding in the qualifiers, from what I was told, they just got absolutely farmed. Like it was the quickest, like they all were 2-0'd, right? Everyone else, so Yeon all the way up, were all competitive, from what I've been told. So pretty much this is anyone's game. This player right here, this like name, I don't know what this is. He is like the wild card. I don't actually know anything about him. So he is the wild card. He could, like, I've been told is all competitive. And of course, this is like before they all got to farm and stuff. So maybe things have changed for these players, but I'll tell you a little bit about this in case you want to make an educated system. So Kecker beat Dapor because Dapor's biggest weakness is that he did not have a wide roster. And that is probably like the biggest reason why he won, because Dapor was really, really fast, but he didn't have as many rev abusers as he could have gotten online. He just didn't have like the shells, right? So he was limited by the amount of shells that he could get. He doesn't have that limitation anymore, which is why I believe like Dapor will probably be the winner, because Dapor is the fastest player. Okay. Dapor is the fastest player out of all of these. There's only one player that can match Dapor on speed, which is Yeon. Okay. Now, I don't actually know if Dapor got any faster this times 2. I haven't talked to him. And I definitely haven't talked to Yeon. So both of these players could all of a sudden start outspeeding the other, but they're pretty much at like where most players are going to be for considered fast, right? So these are your cleavers, your top speeders. These are the people that you just don't hit an arena because you're never going to outspeed them. Okay. Yeon and this. And I'm sure you've seen Yeon in arena. Right? I mean, he was up here before. But I'll tell you right now, all these people up here, very, very, very fast. But you want to know something? Out of all these players, there's that are like speed players. Dapur outspeeds everyone besides two. There's only 2 players that Dapur gets his top speed and only his top speed outsped. But in RTA, he has a deeper roster. So that is why I would highly, highly recommend, if I were to, and I'm being biased, you know, and there's a little bit of cope, because then I can say, hey guys, listen, the only reason was I didn't have a chance, right? You know, you saw the tournament stream. I think Dapur has the best shot now that he has access to what was keeping him held back, you know? So I would recommend this slot right here. Kecker is a very, very good player. Kecker is a really, really good player. Really good, like insane. He's very smart. He's very knowledgeable about the game. And I think that the reason why Dapur would lose is not because he doesn't have the stats to beat Kecker, but because, to be honest, and to be frank, Kecker's just a better player. Like, he's just a good player. He's a really good player. So I would honestly, like, and I'm throwing away Scarlet biased, these two are very safe picks. There's a reason why they're seed 1 and seed 2. That's all it is. They're a good player. Well, Dapur, 100%, he just stat checks everyone. And that's definitely a very, very powerful, like, advantage that he has. Kecker, though, is really smart, but he doesn't have as insane gear as Dapur. So he could lose to a player like Yon. He could lose to Dapur. Now, Gion is the one that is interesting because he is one of the original Rev abusers, but he didn't have the full rot. He was a one trick, okay? And that is why he is kind of the wild card for me, because he is fast enough to contest Dapur and the rest, but I don't know if he's been able to expand his roster or if he's doubled down on the Rev abuse. So I don't really know anything about him, but I would say that if you voted for him, then, I mean, that's fine. That's like fine, right? But this is the wild card. Like, him and this guy is a wild card. This guy's a wild card because I literally just don't know anything about him. Yon is because I don't know how much better he's got in there. No, these are not played on dev accounts. These are copied accounts. I know that for a fact. They will not be playing on dev accounts at this one right here. For the content creator one, I don't know if this is copied or if this is dev accounts. But to be honest, I'm just going to be honest with you. Like, if it's dev accounts, I would still say Team Nico Nana, just because, like, Sheijo, this guy's smart. James Murr is smart. From what I've seen, he's a very heavy guide maker who actively playing the game. Gacha, I think, like, is probably the wild card because I don't actually know. Like, he doesn't have any experience in PvP games, but he's a pretty smart guy. He figured out the Giada route. He's progressed through the game pretty kind of like hands off, not looking at what other people's are doing and just being very individual. So I have pretty like good expectations for him. And then Mr. Pokey, he just doesn't play the game. So, like, I mean, you can give him everything, but if he doesn't even know the game, like, he's not actively playing it. So, and like, I don't blame him, right? Like, he's farming, like, you know, right now there's Honkai Star Rail, there's the ZZ big patches, there's, Wuwa just dropped like a bombshell. Like, there's so much going on with Chaos Zone Nightmare, Lost Sword if he wanted to do it. You know, there's so much content right now that Pokey should be farming and getting the bag for. So I think he's making the right decision by just being like, hey, I'm just here to grab the bag and show face, have some fun, make some content. Like, hell yeah. Lamulu, I don't know anything about. I think that, you know, he is playing the game, so maybe him. And YDCB, I mean, I think like these two could probably beat Gacha Smack. Maybe James, Lamulu could beat James if he's smart. I don't really know them. I think Sheizo will probably beat pretty much everyone here. I think this guy, for the most part, should beat everyone here. Gacha is like the one where it's like he'll wipe the floor with Pokey. He most likely will beat YDCB and most likely beat Lamulu. But yeah, like I think it's still pretty one-sided even on dev accounts. Why aren't you on the poster? Because I suck. I don't know. These guys are very big content creators. This is like, looking at it, I don't think that I could have picked anyone better. Because Vulcan's casting. I think who else is casting? Yeah, there's like Vulcan, and I forget who else is casting. I don't know if Tim's casting. I actually haven't asked him. So yeah, no, like assuming that those guys are casting, like this is fine. But yeah, you can pretty much vote for here. Kecker, Depor, Yeon is good. Shiny is a turn 2 player. I don't know if he's gotten his stuff online. That is the big question mark for me. So that is the big question for me is, did Shiny get the lighthouses? That is the question that every turn 2 player has. But from what I've seen, now I can't say anything. Point is, I wouldn't recommend Shiny. I don't think Shiny is going to be ready for what's handed to him. What do you think is the skill prioritization for Veronica? So I actually have no skills in Veronica right now because she's fine at 111. But in my opinion, I would say that probably the highest skill priority is this right here, which I plan to do, because what you want is you want to have that 100% chance to spread. So the idea is like you spread the bulwark to your team with the soul ward. So now they can't die, they can't be CC'd, so they can't even be like locked from it. So if your opponent doesn't have a strip, it's GG. Okay, sorry. I was also trying to like eat at the same time. So, can Vero steal barrier? She can. She can steal anything that's not a unique buff. So, pretty much anything that's gold or has like the green highlight around it. So, Tiamat, Bloodshed, Rahu's, Wrath, those are all unique buffs. And then also, where is she? This chick. This buff, right? Any buff that looks like this or has that border, or this chick here where she has the bloodshed like this and the ultra, like all that stuff can't be stolen. Everything else is fair game. So yeah. So to recap, I would highly recommend you vote for this team here and you vote for Kecker, Depor, or Yeon. So yeah, unless you want to gamble, then you can go for Shiny or that other guy. But yeah. Yes, you can steal Messiah's invincibility. Exactly. Yeah. So, okay. So I want to show you guys my account right now and kind of like give you an idea of like where I'm going in case, because I know there's a lot of people that are like either trying to follow my account style, right? Because I think I'm actually in a pretty good place in terms of like a player, right? I think that most people can look at my account, and I think the biggest hurdle for my account is I have access to all the characters. So I'm not looking at the what am I limited to, because I'm going to maintain a perfect Pokédex, okay? Simple as that. I'm gonna keep that up, which means that for me, the only restriction is resources and gear, and I haven't rolled anything super crazy. I definitely have some good rolls, and I have a lot of average, like above average rolls, which is fine. But like for the most part, you can probably get to my stats. I think there's only a few characters that I'm pretty honest about, where it's like, yeah, these are high roll. For example, like this Messiah. Yeah, I mean, this is like a really good Messiah. This is very like, this is a top tier Messiah, and I completely concede that, right? 2750 out of 3000. I already cleaned my bags twice. I never had that problem. I was constantly cleaning. But I have like characters that like Heinrich, like this one's very achievable, and this is one that I'll talk about, right? Because I can switch like this right now. I'm going to be using, because I'm going to re-roll this for red speed, And that is going to give me, if I can get even 16, this is a 306 Heinrich, okay? Which is fine. Nothing crazy. Could be up to 310. But there is like a couple of upgrades that I could do, right? Like this helmet, I could upgrade. This I could upgrade. This I could upgrade. It could also be crit damage. This I could upgrade. This one, kind of hard to upgrade, but there's a lot of things, and I want to talk about that. So we can go over that. So I think for the most part, my stats are going to be achievable for the average player. Maybe not like right now, but in 1 or 2 times 2 events, you should be able to get here. So with that in mind, like, hello, regular. I don't want that to be my like thing where people go, hey, that's the streamer that a regular streamer. That's not really the rep that I'm trying to like put out there. So yeah. So first, obviously my Messiah, you guys have seen this a million times, so I'm not really going to talk too much about him. The only thing that I would maybe look at doing is, I mean, I don't know. It has to be on someone. For the most part, I think this guy does the exact job that I want him to do, mostly with the tricks that I have that I want to do. Heinrich, right now, this is his gear. Again, I think that because I focused more on Aurora than Doki, and also I learned a lot about gearing from this ×2 event, which I'm definitely planning. Like, I want to get back in the groove of making videos. And one of the videos I really want to do is about like what gear you should roll, because I learned a lot. Now, you probably noticed one thing here, which is, again, assuming the, assuming that Rev doesn't get nerfed, because I think that they like Rev in the game. And just regardless of what your opinion is on that, I think it's very much their player brains. And even if this was reduced by 2% max HP here, which is probably the only way that they can really nerf this without doing a heavy rework, this is going to be like in the game and you're just gonna have to accept it. And you can notice here that one way I did this was I have 2 of these. And this is probably the biggest thing that I learned when I looked at what the other Rev players were doing for their characters and their gear, which was they were rolling these 2 Swift Rush, which I never bothered, because to me, I would rather just have like a broken piece that also had the chance to be a nice complementary here. But instead, they just said, no, screw that. Screw the broken piece. These are half a broken piece. And that changed my perspective. So now I could have rolled a lot more, but I probably sold a bunch of good pieces that could have rolled well if I had actually kept these in mind. Because you can see here, this was like, the first one is like, oh yeah, this could have been a really insane piece, right? Obviously, it rolled okay. Like, this is a very usable piece, but you want to be like average of 9 to 12 here in this speed slot to really get up your speed. So actually, I'm using an effect accuracy right now. And honestly, I don't really need it because I'm going to have insight, right? This is going to be crazy once I get to red speed. So this could be a crit damage. But now I'm missing out on this because, well, I wasn't rolling these 2s. And as you can see, if you get 2 Swift Rush, then they actually create 1 Swift Rush piece, which is half. And now, if I did this, my other speed characters that are dedicated speedsters like Lily, Tsukiyomi, all those, that would have actually been able to mean that I could have an extra broken piece, right? Which is crazy when you think about it. So the biggest thing that I learned from this ×2, after seeing how other people were like rolling gear now that that discussion was out and I could easily ask it and get an answer without people trying to dodge the question, because some people like to gatekeep their strategies. It's a good time to talk to them when it's on topic because they're a lot more like open to discussing that. This was the biggest thing that I learned that they were doing and I wasn't. And the moment I started doing it, I was immediately rewarded and I was able to build my Heinrich when I was actually so close to thinking that, oh, I've run out of stuff to roll. So I have to choose, am I going to go to Doki continuously and then turn off my other side of my plan, which was Aurora farming? Or, do I just start doing, Aurora and roll better pieces? And so I rolled these pieces and they hit. And so I was like, oh, okay, I can stop here. I have a usable Heinrich. And I know that after ×2, I'll be able to reevaluate based on if Rev is still in the game. And if it is, because by the time the next ×2 comes around, we'll have the balance patch, so we'll have a whole extra season. You'll at least be able to do you know, 1 times 2 during that season to start building towards what is meta. Morning, no hope. So in that case, I wish that I rolled more of these pieces. And I think that if you have these, you should really look at these. Mostly, like, obviously, if they're 4 substats, that's like best case scenario. And sorry, it's just getting hot in here. I had a sweater on, but it was cold, and now it's warmed up. Now that the heater's on, but pretty much, I felt like I had a lot more pieces that I definitely know that I saw, but because I was filtering these out, like, I could have rolled a bunch more that even starting at 3 sub, they were still better than me rolling a broken piece that started at 3 sub to try to speed chase very specific pieces. It just didn't, like, there could have just been more good pieces that I got in. Obviously I hit a lot. This is probably going to tilt some people. I'm sorry. Like, and this piece. So I have 4 of these, which is caught pretty fucking good. Like, a lot of the top players only have like 2 of the, like 2, and it's on Swift Rush too, right? Like, I'll admit, that's where I'm like above average, right? 100% caught. It's pretty good. It's nothing crazy, but the fact that I have 4, that's actually kind of good. That's actually legitimately pretty good. Now, the place where I'm weak, to be honest with you, is the helm. My fastest Swift Rush helm is a 9, which is pretty unacceptable. My fastest here is a literal 6. That is unacceptable. I really need more of these. So next times 2, I'm very, like, I'm probably doing 80 Doki, and then the last 20%, maybe I can do Aurora, maybe I can do this, unless they come out with some really broken characters, which between now and the next times 2, there will be whatever the new light dark character is, plus 2 RGBs. So, you know, who knows? Unless they're like super broken on turn 2, or they nerf Rev as well, then maybe it changes. But even then, I'll probably still do at least 50-50, because I really need it. So that's kind of one thing that I'm just keeping in mind going into it. I want to be wealthy enough to have 2 houses, 1 in Europe and 1 in Australia and New Zealand, and swap every 6 months so I can perma stay out of summer. Fuck summer. That is, that would be the dream. That would be the dream indeed. So that is what we're doing. But I did get a good, like, Heinrich. Why the major focus on Swift? Aren't you going turn 2? Because when I looked at where, like, I'm not a speed player, but I'm still fast enough that I can contest average players. I'm at that weird area where I'm above at the average right now, and I'm a few pieces off of being well above the average, but I'm not super fast. So there's that. So there's that. I'm still doing turn 2 though, but the problem is I'm a little bit further away from it. So I wanted to make sure that I had stuff to play with. And like I said, I already have this. So all I have to do is like roll this speed, or what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably not going to roll this because I have this right here, which I could roll instead, because this is a really good shell and I don't really want to break this because I do use it on like a Yelly PvP set. So there is that. Yelly, again, gonna go over here very quickly. This is just my second DPS set. It's still pretty good. This could be upgraded. This could be upgraded. It's pretty good, but I also want to eventually switch her to a Swift Rush set. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Other than that, standard stuff, Valerian, don't really need to talk about her. Rev Freya, this Rev Freya is slightly downgraded right now. Simply put it, I think that, like, I'm not really like, it's weird, right? I'm probably going to do this, but it's not a high priority for me either, because often Rev she gets picked. She's like my 2nd or 3rd pick, and she does her job anyway. I don't really feel like I need it, but now I'm going to show you my high roll on my account, which is like this. By the way, I have guild members who are much better. Like, I just need a preference. They have much better gear and they're able to get this exact same thing, but like 10 speed faster. So this is my Lily. And I know it's under 340 speed, so I'm bricked. So yeah, she's on bulwark. Which is really, this is really good. But I have a guild member who's literally just 11 speed faster. Chalky milk, by the way. I really wanted chocolate milk today, so. But yeah. Yeah, see, there's people that are faster. Now, to be fair, it's only 19 speed. But I do have good pieces. But this is showing the weakness of some limitations on my account. Because, one, technically, like, what I think is achievable for the average player from here is, like, this piece. This piece could be a 12. To be honest, like, where I am, this is like me choosing to prioritize Aurora over Doki. If I chose to prioritize like Doki and completely ignore like the ×2, I'm very certain that I would have been able to upgrade this to at worst a 10, at best a 12. Well, actually, no, probably on average a 12 and maybe even higher. And this is where like that limitation hurts, because this could be a 12 and this would bring her up to 337, and then this is like a 338 if I perfect this. So there's that. But then from here, like, that is where I feel like the average Lily will be for most players, because this is not bad gear. Like, I don't think anyone's lying. Like, this is a lot of my speed gear, right? 13, 12, 11. This is like a low roll, sure. So maybe it could be like 339, right? Best case. 13, you know, this should be a 12, right? This one is a 12. But you can see here, this is actually, well, if we just also take this and bulwark, like, it actually is like my fastest one that I have. So this is where it's like, I'm limited. If you completely ignore Aurora, you wouldn't have had the Swifts in my piece. That is true. I did actually roll this through this event. So that is actually very, very true. So yeah, you are right in that case. But it's a weird thing, right? You have to get that balance. So I have rolled there, but I'm kind of low rolling in this place. So this is definitely something that I could do, right? I literally am capped here, right? This is my fastest piece. And this is the biggest bottleneck, right? This is why it's like, now I need to start like working towards the Doki Doki, because you'll see like I have a lot of the foundation in terms of my DPSs. So there's that. The other one that I'll show real quick is this. So this is my leftover speed gear, by the way. It's just leftover. 17, so could be upwards of 3 more speed, 325. This is, I think, the second. If I remove everything, I think this is the second fastest piece on my account. So if you're wondering what my 2 fastest pieces are on my account, it is actually these 2 pieces. They're both on my helm and they're both broken. A 15 and a 14. That's it. That is it. This is literally it. I have 0 reds on my account. The one in the thumbnail is just one someone sent me. I just used it for clickbait. 100%. You're not going to see anything faster. These are my 2 fastest. Both of them were rolled in this event. Yeah, so there's, yeah, see, Richard is much faster. Like, there's a lot of people, and I have guildmates that have reds, multiple golds, like, a lot. Where my account is I have a lot of purples, okay? Now, this is, again, where I'm lacking this, right? This piece could be faster, but I'm showing you, I literally, like, this is, This is it. This is my fastest one that I have on a Swift Rush. I can't get any faster on it. So this could very easily be a 12, which could be an extra 6. So this really should be like a 330 Mio, which is like where the average player truly is. So see, Richard, that is something that we'll talk about here because I actually did do exactly that. The problem with that is you run out of money very quickly. and that's one thing where I had to pivot a little bit. But you do run a lot. So there's that. Obviously I could go faster, right? This one here, but effect accuracy. So there's that. So this piece could also be faster, right? So if I were to just upgrade these, and these are like what I feel like are realistic, you should be able to get to 12. Or at least 9. So let's say like worst case is I upgrade 2, I upgrade 3 here. And then, you know, everything else stays the same. Like that's an extra, what, 5 speed? Yeah, 5 speed. So like 327, I would be like happy with that. But yeah, so overall, I think this is like the big one here is like, I mean, this is fine. Like for the most part though, it's like I can support 3 decently fast characters. And then once Heinrich's up, he's also decently fast enough that I'm happy with it. And I have some tricks to deal with those players. The other one is my Suki. So 331, this is like me trying to mess around with my gear a little bit. So obviously I could like choose to do this for 1 extra speed. I could do this for 1 extra speed, but this is where I'm actively choosing to, you know, there's 1 speed here or there, just to make sure that it works. So I do have this, which is good. Yeah, a lot of it went to speed checking. But yeah, so this is like here. So I did roll like this piece, which is good. But this, for the most part, is like, it's fine. It's average. This is like where the average should be. Does have a 20 speed though. Does have a 20 speed. I think like the only thing I could really upgrade is this piece, because it doesn't have to be a defense percent. It's just like this was actually the fastest one that I had available because yeah, see, this is like the only one. So like this is a piece that maybe I could get it to a 12. And then she becomes 333. That's fine. Like to me, this is like average at that point. Like I think that once you go past the purple, because that's like an average of 3 rolls, right? That is very, very much reasonable for most players to get, mostly as you start getting like 4 subset stuff, right? That you're able to get over time, mostly in times 2. Yeah, the White Fang is purely because it has the sets and it has shadow, it has the speed. The shell does not matter for Suki. In theory, if I could have this exact same setup with Shadow Dash and then this onslaught doesn't matter, but it was on a dragon like Codex, that is the best case scenario, right? But I don't have that. If I get that, I'll switch her to it, but I don't have that. So that is why I'm using her here. But that is kind of the idea. So those are like my openers right now. And then I use like Freya, and she could be faster. I could like move gear around to her if I want to make her faster, but she's kind of like just this bridger right now because of where we're at here. So she could have that. And I do have this, but I'll talk about like where I plan to use my lattices. So there's that. Now, Rose is on the bench right now because I just don't have like, I don't have the gear to play her. I have a different plan for her after the next times 2, but yeah, she's like a character that sometimes I'll put gear on, really only if I'm fighting the same person in RTA and they know like what my DPSs are. I'll move a set over to her because then I can pick her and they're not expecting it. So there's that. So let's talk a little bit about like, this is where my count is starting to see the pivot. We've seen all these before. We've seen the Veronica. This is like one of my tricks that I have to deal with people that are faster than me. Obviously I want to upgrade this. And I did the math. I mean, obviously it's just additive, right? There's no difference between doing 20% and a 6 set. The only reason that you would want this to be on a set is it could be +5 speed. But There's literally no difference. So you can run 12 Swift Rush if that gives you the best stats, or you can run 8 and then a 6 piece, right? So it doesn't really matter there. You are locked into using those sets, but it will work. Eventually, this is not going to look like this. So the goal is to go on a lighthouse, and I'm going to replace these with Bloodbath. And the idea there is that with Bloodbath, even if I don't level this, it's still 25%. That means that if she gets hit, it's a 50% increase. Like if she gets triggered on the lighthouse, she will move up 50%, which is really good. She could be faster as well. Obviously, we're missing this. We're missing 5 speed. So definitely, we're missing 10 speed on her just naturally here, which we could get pretty easily. And we could probably upgrade this shell to a red, which is at least +2. So right off the bat, you're seeing like an additional 12 speed that could be on her, like worst case scenario. So, you know, it's okay. She only needs to be about 250, 260 to cut after getting hit by stuff like Mio. The only thing I need to do with her is I eventually really need to find a time to invest the 2 into her, because you really want these 2 lattices, because again, the whole point of Veronica is that she S3s, she makes everyone safe, and then she needs to spread the immunity. Like stealing and spreading that stuff is also great, but stealing and spreading the immunity, like spreading the immunity is the biggest one, because it means that they can't die and they can't be CC'd. And if they can't die and can't be CC'd, you're guaranteed a turn. And if you're guaranteed a turn, well, that's just GG. Now, let's talk about my projects. Those are all the characters that we already knew, slightly like the upgrades that I got. But let's talk about the future, because this is the biggest one. I want to introduce you to my first project, Amber Beyontin. I've seen some people testing this, and it looks good. And Freaky, I'm so glad that you mentioned the Heinrich, because this is actually the answer to it. So let me explain, and you've probably seen this because there are a few people already doing it. So Beyontin, how she works is very simple. She is a revive character, and specifically, most people are going to get on her S3, which, yeah, she has a really good S3, right? Attack buff, crit damage buff. Okay, cool. We don't actually care about that. What we care about is this S2. And what this S2 does is it has, when you cast this, you are going to be able to make an ally have an immediate turn, which looks really good, right? But you can also do this to an ally that's dead and make them take a turn, no matter what. There's no restriction on this, as long as they can be revived. So now they take a turn, they get a turn, and guess who you would bring back? The clock's starting to turn. So the problem is you have to take a turn. Well, that becomes very easy when you have Bloodbath and you have Amber. So all of a sudden, you draft your openers. You are locked into Cleave now because you have Lily, you have Suki, because you're like, oh, I'm going to speed chase. I know that I'm faster than this guy, and I can pick away his openers. So I go, cool. I'm going to counter you by picking both your DPSs. And they go, that's fine. I'm just going to outspeed you. So now I pick Rosa, Ramolcha, Rev users. Great. You do that, buddy. I pick in my band protection slot, Beyontin. You're fucked. Because now you have to either pick Beyontin yourself, which means that you're ban locking a Beyontin with Suki and Lily, or Mio and Lily, or, you know, all these openers. So now you have 3 characters that do nothing. I picked away the 2 best DPSs. Guess what I can do? Anything I want. Anything I want. So you go ahead and take away my Beyontin, or you're forced to play into it. So the only counter is Hou-Yan. So if you want, you can build Hou-Yan, but guess what? Doesn't exactly counter it, because if I pick multiple characters, you can only like kill one, right? You can ban one, but then I can pick other characters, right? So now you're slowing down your draft. And the moment you slow down your draft, well, let me just tell you, you're not going to have a fun time into Holden, Rahu, all those characters that all of a sudden you're not going to be able to push through with Hou-Yan, and then I can ban away your other DPS, because now you're ban protecting your Hou-Yan. So your best bet is to ban protect someone, But if you don't ban protect Hoyan, then I can just ban that and not care about who you ban protected. So you can start to see very quickly where this just goes out of hand very quickly, all because you have to push through her. Because Amber is when you die, you're gonna recover back to half HP and put you into an ice state. So that's kind of the idea. And then Bloodbath is going to keep you alive. So eventually you take a turn, she takes her turn, she goes through, she casts her S2, bring back your DPS, and you reverse cleave them. So congratulations, you've just Beyontin them. So that's the thing. Now, a couple of things that are required here. One, she's pretty slow right now. I mean, obviously that's because I'm missing currently 22 speed. So add that in. She's currently 233. And then we're also missing like a red piece because you don't want her to take like super fast. You don't want her to be super fast, okay? Because you still want her to like take a turn. So the idea here is like you want to stack her with HP here, you want to get speed, and then the last slot doesn't really matter. It's just gonna be damage reduction, right? So you just make a super giga tanky Beyontin. Yeah, good luck. good luck. So that's fine. Does she reset shells? She would. She would reset them. So all of that happens. Gets a skill cooldown, reduce, which does count towards shells besides Amber and besides Codex. So that would work. And of course, if you slow down the draft, she's fine there because she's still going to be like fast enough. She's still going to have middle speed. That slowing down the draft isn't going to stop you because obviously resetting cooldowns, getting attack buff, having a team-wide revive. I mean, that's all really good. So you don't even mind, right? And that's why we have the Holden. You probably saw this. The issue is in order to make these Lighthouse Bloodbath characters work, you can't just have one. You need 2, you need 3, you need 4. You need everyone to have it. That's how it works. They are strong together, but very weak individually. Because the idea is like, obviously, there's not really any character in the game right now that that's like a bruiser. Obviously, Messiah, Yelly, all of them can like 1v9. They just need to take a turn, duh. But in terms of like bruiser, bloodbath characters, this is how it works. So Holden's really good here because you don't need Bramble on him. It's pretty redundant in terms of how it works. Like it does work, but it's redundant, right? Having more defense though is more important because that's going to lead to more damage as well because it's damage percent increase on his S1 and all that. Now he doesn't even have his S3 maxed. So eventually one of my projects will be to build this up to at least here, which could be 12 crit rate. So that would be pretty good, right? So overall, that's kind of the goal here. And then this could be another, like, I think at worst, it's like another 9% defense. So pretty good. He hits like a truck. The problem is he just doesn't have enough damage just yet. Like you need one other character to help squish you up. And that's where it's like, I also built this guy. Now him, it's a little bit of an interesting situation because I actually am on this. And that's because all of this is natural. Oh yeah, sorry. For the Holden, it is currently defense, crit rate. This is the gear. Most of it's from this. This is where most of my C damage is. And from substats, right? 7%, 3%. Nothing, none here. This could give you more. 11%. So yeah. But then we have Rahu. So this guy here, these were all natural. As I was leveling this up, I was leveling it up actually for a completely different reason. And it just happened to hit. It just happened to hit. It was one of my lucky shells. So this could be upgraded, which is like kind of the thing to upgrade here. And to be honest, I don't even know if I want it to be speed. I want it to probably be crit rate instead because it doesn't need to be speed. But it could be. It's not bad. Fun little thing with Rahu is Freya triggers on any buff at the start of the battle. So with this guy, if you start the battle with like Freya and Rahu actually gets more speed because he will trigger his wrath. So fun little thing. This guy ends up being a lot faster than you expect because of that. And I probably want to change this to crit rate because what is the speed right now? This is only 9. So I go down to what, 195, and instead I get an extra like 18% crit rate, which would bring me up to like 83. So there's that. I also could get like this eventually if I really want when he rotates into the dupe shop, which would help because then he would also get extra defense percent, like, you know, flat stats. So that's something that I may do as a whale, right? Everything else is actually like fine because he's really just defense, defense, defense. If I get the crit rate, then what I can do is I can actually drop one of these for crit damage. It would probably be this piece because this piece probably has the most potential to upgrade. Actually, let's just take a look here. Do I even have a piece? Oh, I do. I forgot I rolled this piece. So yeah, I should really go for the crit rate because this guy's gonna fuck. He's gonna fuck. And the good thing about this is, like, in theory, I don't feel bad if I get a Bramble version of this where everything else is the same, but this is Bramble. I can just switch to that, remove these 2 pieces, and then run Bramble instead. And I have some pretty good Bramble pieces, which is one of the reasons why I was fine with doing turn 2, right? So, you know, we have the crit rate. I could roll more crit rate. I know I have like this one as well. So yeah, there's a lot of improvement that could happen here with this Rahu, but this is a very usable Rahu as it is right now. But he could definitely be improved. He definitely has the basis for it. Any skill ups that turn 2 units need? I think right now it's just holding S1 is really good. And then arguably the S3 up to level 4, but I'm not really high prioritizing it. I'll talk about where my skill ups are probably going to go very soon for them because it's another character. When am I pushing? Probably very soon. Very, very, very soon. So there's that. Okay. The last project really that I'm working on in terms of turn 2 is, if you've been talking to me on my Discord at all, you probably know I've said that, you know, turn 2 is like this future and stuff for a lot of people. But in order to do it, you need Tiamat. This is a shellless Tiamat, by the way. Shellless. So you can probably imagine what's going to happen the moment I get a shell. you can probably put 1 and 1 together and start to figure out what's going to happen when this gets a shell. 100% crit rate. By the way, 1 dupe, no skill ups. I don't need to say anything more. This is a project that when it comes together, I'm first picking Tiamat on everything. 100%. I'm going to have a really, really insane Tiamat. The moment that I get the shell. The problem is, and this is a big caveat, this is one time where I am breaking my rule of shell chasing, which is, I think generally you should try to play around with the shells that you get. Like I said, I built a very good Rahu, but I need, now there's 2 targets, right? I have 2 targets, and this is where it's like, I'm going to be doing it. I don't have the amber that I want right now. I don't have the amber, and I don't have the lighthouse. So I don't have the body. That's the problem. So this is a project that I will be chasing, because if I hit, this is account changing, level changing. This will be a perfect Tiamat, because this HP is low right now until you realize, remember, I'm missing 3k from the shell. I'm missing another like 3k from when I level her S3. I'm also missing the, like if I roll red, which is what I'll chase, right? That's like 24% to 30% extra HP, which is a lot. And then she could have, I forget what it is. Let me just quickly check here on the shell. Sorry, this is filler gear. I would chase this, which could be 24% crit damage. And then this one right here this slot for this one could be, you know, obviously the odd damage, right? So this Tiamat is actually very close. Oh, and she'll be super fast, right? Because I'm missing 40 speed as well. So yeah, and Swiss Might as well, which I think I can do the math for you real quick. Because what's her base speed? Her base speed is 117. You times that by 0.15, 17 speed plus what are we at right now? Plus 161 plus 40. So she'll just be, yeah, pretty good. 218 speed. 218 speed as well. So not even slow. You rather crit damage? Yeah, I would do the crit damage. I've seen that if you just put, you know, the crit rate and the crit damage on the Tiamat, she does the job, right? I don't think 20 speed, like I don't think getting her from 218, well, sorry, it would round up because it's 0.55. So I don't think getting 219 speed to 239 speed is going to make a difference. But what will make a difference is getting this from 247 to, and this is like high roll, obviously, because we did the speed at plus 20 to 277. That will make a much bigger difference. Mostly when you combine that with the fact that it's multiplying with if I get an odd percent for the last slot or damage percentage, if it's like the high red one, that's 7.5, right? What's the right side? So this is where a lot of my high-end gear is going to be. Really good piece here. One missed roll. Technically, it is loot. This could be a much better piece, but it does have the right main stat. It has this. It has that. This piece could be upgraded, but it's going to be like hard to upgrade. This one right here, it has, you know, it had potential, but it has the speed right now. This one right here also has the speed. Didn't waste any of its rolls, but it did lose one roll because obviously it started as a 3-liner. This is like very early on gear as well. I've always had this stuff laying around. This was like my broken pieces. This one right here, it was so close. This could have been an insane piece. It could have been so insane if it just, I mean, but the fact that it rolled on like flat HP, like, could have been worse, right? Technically, it didn't waste any stats because technically it didn't waste anything. This one here, one missed roll, and obviously it's missing one naturally. Doesn't matter though, like it really only would matter if it hit speed or crit damage, or if this was HP percent. So technically this could be better, this could be improved. But it's like, it's okay, right? It can only be improved by being faster or having more crit damage or having HP percentage. This one right here, crit rate, okay, perfect. Like this piece, probably not going to touch unless I just naturally get one that's better for her, because you can't get anything like the effect accuracy doesn't really matter for her, right? It's one wasted roll. Crit rate doesn't matter here. The speed is like the only thing that could matter here, or like flat HP or like defense percent. So it's kind of whatever. So overall, I mean, like she couldn't still be improved. But she is like my biggest project on my account that once it hits, you're gonna see her all the time in the future. Stats to aim for, just standard crit rate. Yeah, as close to 100% crit rate as you can get, and as much crit damage as you can get. HP, she will naturally get so much. This is where my lattices are gonna go over the next like 2 weeks. And this is why I'm holding 5 right now, because I want to get her online as soon as possible, right? Oh, another thing I should point out, I will be maxing this because this is really important. And then this is really important. And I have really good gear for her, right? So once everything comes together, like there's no reason not to put her as a 515 on my account. She's a very good priority character. I want to put her on Amber, but I'm totally fine with it being Lighthouse. And I'll talk about my plan about what I'm doing moving forward very shortly, Alter. Well, I think we have, what is it? 1, 2, 3. 3 characters left to talk about. Oh yeah. So, Tiamat, kind of a nice project. Do you want 3 Lattice and Heinrich S1 for speed? Oh, freaky. You poor soul. Is that what happened? I didn't make that mistake, bro. I didn't make that mistake. Nice bait. Nice bait. Man, I hope that they do something that leads to a reset for you, man. I really do. That sucks. Hey, look on the bright side. Technically, now you have a 50%. Now you, with the right effect accuracy, have the base 100% chance to dispel. There's always a bit of light in the darkness. Oh, and for if you go Rev, it's more attack percentage. Just saying, could have been worse. Could have been worse. Okay. So, let's talk about the next. I'll power through these. So, him right now, terrible gear. None of it's like upgraded. I'm experimenting to see with what I have right now. Just to like, if I were to not hit like a lighthouse in a reasonable amount of time, how could I build him to make him usable? And this is like what I could do if I wanted to raise it. But again, this is like, I'm not rushing Viper because he can work on pretty much anything. And it requires me to have Tiamat online anyway. So they're kind of synonymous together, where once one's online, it will allow me to go farm for what's needed to get a better Viper thing. So there's a lot that I can improve on here. This guy, don't really want to talk about him, but Viper will be built 100%. I don't know what it looks like right now. I mean, this isn't like too bad, to be honest with you, because again, like this is like before the shell's raised. We're missing all of this left side here and this piece right here, which this is an extra 24%. So he gets overcapped by 2. So it just depends on if I hit the crit damage here. This piece sucked though. I really don't want to raise it. It's kind of a problem. And this is where it's like right now I need to look at like my gear, and I have a lot to look at. I did keep some 2s because I am at a point where I'm desperate, but I have pieces like this that I could roll. I have pieces like this that I could roll, pieces like this, pieces like this. So I have quite a bit. So these are desperation if I'm really, really like the 2s are, I'm not going to touch them, but I'm worried, right? Like this I'd roll. So I have a lot to roll, but the problem is money. But as I farm my shells, like I'll be able to roll all these and I'll go down the priority list of the obvious ones. So don't worry. Hello. Do you know what's the current BIS shell for Tiamat? I think they changed the Amber interaction. It's still fine. Lighthouse is Lighthouse and Amber. I think they're about even, to be honest with you. They both have their benefits. They definitely both have their benefits. Amber's a little bit stickier though. It has like more oomph when it matters. But Lighthouse is generally like safer, but it's also a matter of like, how many do you have, right? Realistically, how many are you going to get? Because there's a lot of characters that really want to use that Lighthouse. That would be good for Tiamat. There's not many that want that Amber though. I'll tell you that. So it's just about knowing where you can put the stuff. And, I'm probably going to chase the Lighthouse. To be honest with you, I'm probably going to chase the Lighthouse if I don't hit the Amber. The reason why I'm okay with looking at the Amber is that if I hit it, I need to farm fodder for this Amber anyway. So if we go here, remove the Bloodbath, you need 10 Ambers, and I don't want to sell anything that's a 3 matrix. So I have 1. So yeah, so I need at least 9 more Ambers before I can escape. And I need to raise 2 revs because we'll quickly go over that. I want to raise at least 1, and I want to have enough to where I can raise another if they don't nerf Revelation, which is, but again, I don't have any. I literally don't have any. And I want to raise this one. Sorry, not this one. This one 100%. And then I want to have enough to raise this in case they don't nerf Rev. Because if they don't nerf Rev, then I'm going to raise this for sure. And then that's where I'm going to build, that's where I'll commit to building the Silence. I don't want to commit to building the Rev Silence. Maybe Silence is okay in the future for like her passive lockdown and shield and damage, like she definitely has use. I definitely will be building her eventually, but she's like a long-term project. Unless Rev's not there, then I have like that straight thing there. Yeah, so the way that I see the tank down units is that Viper's broken. Okay, the moment I get Viper built and his passive, and then we have characters like through Q now and all that, like you are going to survive with Lighthouse, Viper, Bloodbath. Like you survive. That's not the worry anymore. The problem is actually having enough damage to kill them before they get to do the second turn. So once you have enough to survive, you're good to go. 337 is good enough for Lily. Yeah, right now, if you're 330 or higher, you are slightly above average. If you were 345 or higher, you are fast. That is the easiest way to look at speed right now, from what I've been told, and from what I've seen as well. Because I outspeed majority of the players besides the very, very top of Arena, but I can contest them in speed over their third unit. Like, if most of them can only support 2 really fast units, then they're all at that 330 speed. How slow is too slow? Pretty much after you go under 305, I would say right now, you're pretty much guaranteed to go second. Do you use a healer in PvP? Right now, no, but I will eventually. So there's that. So yeah. Where was I? Yeah, so Viper gonna get built, and I need to farm Ambers anyway. So if I hit the Amber while I'm farming the Amber for her, then we'll build Amber. If we don't hit it, and I get everything that I want in the Rev and the Ambers, and they're all ready, then I'll probably move to Rengoku, and I'll just be fishing for the Lighthouse, and Tiamat will be the first one to prioritize the good Lighthouse. And then if I happen to high roll and hit a second one, then that is where I will overwrite Rahu's one. So this way this becomes Bramble. And technically I could use Colossal Guard here. It's not as good. Like, it's not as perfect if I use Colossal Guard, because I would need to roll. I don't think I have a crit rate one in here, actually. I mean, I do. So I could like roll this. I could also break perfect accuracy, and what I could do is I could run like this piece, and then I could have her instead roll crit rate on the center, and it just wouldn't be perfect crit rate, but it would have more crit damage. So there's a trade-off, and she would be tankier, but she would be slower. So yeah, there's trade-offs there. There's definitely versions that I can hit, which is fine. So that's kind of like the idea right now. The other project is her. So this is where things are a little bit weird, because I want her on Lighthouse, and this is the problem, right? I'm going to have to do some Hoyan, because I need to get the Hoyan pieces, because that's the closest to what I'm able to complete right now. The moment I complete that, I unlock access to my Beyontin comp, I unlock access to my Heinrich, and another DPS, because right now I'm kind of sharing my good one with this, and I can improve my Yelly. So I have 3 immediate guaranteed upgrades. Like, I don't need to hit anything. I'm just upgrading what I have, and I guarantee progression on my account, which is like, that is the highest priority for you. Guarantee progression. Hey Taka, how's it going? Hey Silhouette, welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. Have your union mates tested crit damage Viper? Yeah, Viper does damage. Okay, if you build DPS bruisers, they will deal damage, surprisingly. He actually hits pretty hard, which is what I'm going to do, right? Generally, everyone that I've seen, with how broken Viper is, you only need about 20k HP when you have Lighthouse, Bramble. Sorry, not Bramble. Yeah, once you have like Bloodbath and Lighthouse, 20-ish KHP is enough. And then you can just build all damage. Who's supporting for EWC Invitational? Who do you think will win? I'm not familiar with the players. I went over it at the start of the stream, but pretty much I'm voting for Dapor. And right now it's glitched. You may not see Dapor. He's the second slot. He's the one next to Kecker. So my opinion, and some of it is biasm, but Kecker and Dapor are both in my guild. I'm supporting Dapor because I think that he has the best quality gear, and I think that now that everyone has a wide enough roster that you can't cheese people's units by stealing them, and there's now a depth check on gear quality becomes much more important. And I think that in that check, in that version, Dapor has an advantage. But I would say that the safest picks are Kecker, Dapor, and Neon. Those are probably the 3. I don't think Shiny, unless Shiny rolls up and he has perfect turn 2 everything, I don't think Shiny can survive. But Shiny is like probably the only non-speed player that I think can win right now. Because turn 2, I think, still needs one more like double event to be fully online, or at least another 2 weeks if they were dedicated to it this one. So yeah, Yeon does have the Lily, but Lily is going to be super contested. So if Yeon's smart, he will give up that Yelly gear to another untraditional opener, like, but he can't do Suki, at least not versus Dapur, because Dapur does have Suki, and he knows that, because there's no way he didn't watch the only other event that he played in, which is what I played in, so there's that. But yeah, Yeon is the only one that I think that can contest speed with Dapur. Everyone else, Dapur outspeeds. Yeon and Dapur, the 2 fastest players in the tournament. So there's that. Yeah, Rin the Unbowed is also a character that a lot of people are looking at. Yeah. Okay, sorry, I'll go back to this. So she's my next project. She needs the Lighthouse, which is kind of the problem with all my accounts. So I'm pretty much just going to finish off Elyan. If I miss the Amber, I miss the Amber. I don't care. I'll go prioritize Lighthouse, because that Lighthouse may even arguably better. It's definitely the one that isn't going to get buffed or changed with interactions and stuff and not have to worry about it. So, and I'd rather just farm Rengoku because of that. Are the top players at 360 speed? They're all above, like, okay, the very top speed players are in like the 350s right now. There is only one person that I've seen that's broken 360. Only one. And I don't think anyone is past that because, well, like, they're giga fast. They're not getting outsped by anyone so far, even at the very top. So, yeah. Her, I'm going to be building her on speed bloodbath. And again, this is where like this doesn't matter actually. I just realized after doing the math today. So like this could literally just be, it has to be between these two because it's going to be on Lighthouse. So I would come here and this is again, she doesn't need to be super fast, but she can probably like steal Veronica's piece here. Or actually no, I'd steal this piece. Oh no, she probably needs to be this piece because I think she needs to be HP percent. Yeah, the biggest issue with her is that she needs to be HP percent on everything. So actually she would have to steal this piece, which kind of sucks because as you see here, I don't have any of these with speed. So I'm kind of forced to steal this piece. So she's not as fast as I want her to be. This is where it's like I could farm Doki and this would actually improve it because, you know, I have this piece here, which is okay. This actually doesn't work on her. I don't know why I have this on her because I need it to be Bloodbath. So, yeah, I'd probably steal this, or I would steal like these pieces. Yeah. So this is where it's like, I also, I do have a lot of pieces here that I could roll. So this is a spot where I could definitely try to roll a better piece because I have what, 1, 2, missed 3, 4, 5. Yeah. 5 pieces here that could potentially hit. And then I could also, I mean, I'll just check these because yeah, we're desperate. So I would check these just to see what they get because right now this could be a Viper piece. This could be like, this could be a good piece if it just rolls speed because it has the crit rate. So that could be a DPS piece. This one, I wouldn't really roll anymore, to be honest with you. The good thing about Bloodbath is that technically you shouldn't trash any of them because these combinations can work on any bruiser in the future. Are you going to do a watch party for EWS? I mean, if people are interested in that, I'm totally fine with like kind of co-streaming it. Like where I just, if you guys play League, you probably know what that means, but co-streaming is just the idea of like, I stream the stream. So, and talk about it. So yeah. But that's kind of the idea. So, I want to get her on 12 Bloodbath because the idea is Bloodbath, Lighthouse, and then if she can be like 240, kind of think about her as like another Veronica. She doesn't have a shell, so I need that. I need speed. Point is, I'm going to build her fast and Bloodbath, and the idea is that if I max this out as well, she'll get that 8% turn meter at the end of every turn, pretty much, when you're taking your turn. So eventually she kind of has a built-in mini gigabyte every single turn, cuts you off. She needs to have triple HP, which is like the only reduction here. So like these pieces definitely have to stay, but you can see this piece, it has potential. This piece, not really, but as much HP as possible. So this way she casts a big fat shield, and I'm going to leave this as this for now, but I probably will eventually get this up here. But again, gated by lattices, can't do much about it. The final project that I have is going to be Sonya. You need multiple healers. So she's kind of the next closest project to me because SRs are, much easier. And you can see here that I'm guaranteed a 5/5 Sonya. This is the lowest priority on my projects because I need to go back and farm, what is it? Nico Nana, because she has to be on a Bramble, Bloodbath, and then what's the last one? Let's just go see. I need to go here. I need to go Nico Nana, and I have to be farming this Alicorn, and it needs to hit. Oh yeah, either of these are fine, but technically Swift Smite's the best because speed, and then Bramble and Bloodbath. And the idea there is that Alicorn bypasses the nerf that she had because it would cleanse. And then she also gets this turn meter increase of 30% when you max it out. So she can take turns, she heals a bunch, and you're going to be tanky, you're going to survive, you're going to out-tank. In sustain wars, you're going to win. Yeah, I'll probably debate co-streaming it. I just need to check what time it's up at, for me at least. I haven't actually looked at that. You probably have a lot of personal input on the players as you're closer to them. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely do it if people are interested in it. So, yeah. So Sonya, she's a character that I'm going to be working on. I just don't know if I have the resources, like the gear, to do it. And it depends on how long I'm stuck in Ringo Gel. Because right now, when I look at my account, I'm guaranteed progression here. So I just need to raise the other rev that I need. And then like I can slowly reroll as I'm waiting to search for the lighthouses, right? So I have that, and then I have the amber, right? And those are the two that I'm rolling while I'm trying to search for these lighthouses, right? So I either get amber and then I sit at Hoyan, get enough to build up that next amber, or I'm farming for the lighthouse, I get the lighthouse. Farming for a lighthouse, I hit the lighthouse, I transfer the lighthouse over to this guy, and I build and I switch the gear. Cool, great. This guy built perfect. Only can really re-roll this if I'm still rolling. This right here is fine. Nothing I can really do here besides improve gear. Everything else can't really improve. This one will be the rolling. If I hit, I can change her over to the Swift Raid version, which means that I can then roll the passives on the Swift Raid version. What's the Swift Raid version? Which is this one, which means I just need to re-roll this into constant damage. So there's that. Also, the other thing that I want to do eventually is right now, this is my Linglo. I didn't really show her too much, but it's pretty good. It's Bulwark, 285 speed. This needs to be re-rolled to the one that is the healing. Hey Kyoya, what's the requirement to join Scarlet, or is it friends only? Right now we have a waitlist for Scarlet. We have a lot of really good players. Obviously. So Scarlet is doing account reviews tomorrow for all of our members. So anyone who doesn't meet the requirement to be a good player is going to get cut, and we have a wait list. So if you're interested in joining, the requirement is pretty much you have to be a top player. It's a very heavy account. So if you think your account's better than mine, that's like probably the bare bones entry level. It needs to be better than my account. That's just how it is. Because obviously now that Guild Wars is starting up, we've given players who are friends that we trust enough time. But yeah, that's just the truth. So any shifting around between our main guild and our second guild will be tomorrow. That's pretty much that. But yeah, this one, really good. Just need to upgrade this into the one that when you heal, you increase the damage. And the idea behind this Linglo is that you're realistically, like, if I were to put something on defense, I wouldn't put Linglo. I'd put Sonya when she has the Bramble set. Linglo's role is you pick her in the positions where you are already in a mirror matchup and you are prioritizing healers, right? I pick the Tiamat, you pick Holden and Rahu. I pick like another character. So this is like the Viper. Maybe you pick Viper and Holden, right? And then I pick Rahu, and then I pick Linglo in my band protection slot. And because we're in that matchup where we're slow, her being fast and also on Bulwark means that you can't pick control characters into it. She's going to have access to this and being able to cleanse. That's her role, right? Um, wait, what's the second Guild of Scarlet? That one's filled. It's called Aquila. That's the one that Vulcan's in. So yeah, we have Evo Guard, Bulwark in that. So this is like standard. Really, I'm just going to try to improve this, and I will probably build a version on Bloodbath, maybe. I don't have it right now. You don't want Bloodbath? Yeah, so the idea is like, I'm not really picking her where she's trying to survive. That's where I'm building the Sonya the way I'm doing it. That's going to be her role. Linglow's role is going to be picked in the matchups where she's going to be able to deny my opponent the ability to CC, go on, like transition into a CC composition, and also when I'm playing like other bruiser characters. And that's why she's built this way. But I'm totally open to like getting a lighthouse. But again, like at some point you have to ask yourself, like, how many lighthouses am I actually going to get that are good, right? Like, how many am I actually going to get? And this is a build that I have right now, just naturally, right? I didn't work for this. This was just spare gear that was okay, you know, like just okay gear, and it added up really well. Like you can see, like this is just okay gear, and just added up, and it works. And I have the shell. So I may like obviously this could be improved heavily, but the fact that this is like leftover gear that works and gets her to a point where she's very good and allows me to use her in a very specific way that's totally fine, then I would definitely be super open to like changing this over to something like the blood blade. Obviously, if I can pick up and guarantee that I always get every lighthouse I want, yeah, I mean, sure, I want her on Bloodbath with Bramble, with yeah, Bloodbath, Bramble, and then like Colossal Guard or Swift Smite, obviously, like every other character. Like, but how many characters want that lighthouse? A load, a bunch of them. And then the idea is that she would survive. She would Bramble proc, and she heals and cleanses as well every time she Bramble proc. Like, yeah, that's great, but is that optimistic to say that I'm going to have that and that I'm going to get it enough that I'm going to build it on her? Probably a bit optimistic, you know, because that lighthouse is going to my Tiamat first. It's going to my Rahu first. It's going to my you know, if there's a Swift Rush version, that's going to go to my my Fuck You first. If there's Swift Smite Swift Rush with Bramble, that's going to her first. Like, there's so many characters that are going to get that priority before my Linglo. So it's more of an afterthought. Obviously, there is a best in slot, but this is a perfect example of where in a gacha game, you have to play with what you have. And this is what I have that works. So yeah, Lighthouse, Bramble, Bloodbath, Vice. Yeah, I mean, that would be good. But again, you have to ask yourself, are you really putting it on your Vice before all those other characters? Probably not. Unless you don't have all those characters. Sure, cool. But yeah, that's the thing. It's just a very competitive one, is all. Sam. And then after that, that is kind of like my goal. So right now, like this is where I've stopped and went, that's realistic. In 1 month, do I see myself completing all that? And the answer is there's definitely a world where I don't complete it. And that is what made me decide that's where I'm going to stop. Because I have other plans, but there's going to be new characters that come out. There could potentially be new content that comes out that changes. Like, what if they throw a bunch of shells at us? You know, what if they throw a bunch of, you know, new modules or something at us, right? We don't know what they're going to do. So I need to still think of like, in a month time, can I complete this? Because that's like generally where I'm going to see it. And then there's a meta shift that's going to happen. And do I think that this is going to fit into a meta shift, or is it going to get hit? And no, I don't think that that's going to get hit, what I'm doing. The only thing that can really get hit is my Heinrich and Freya, which, okay, cool. I can definitely, like, I have, where is it? I have gear, like, I could use this and then build, like, a different version, right? Sorry, not this Jackal. Yeah, I have this one. I actually also think I have another codex. Where is it? I think I'm just trying to be a little bit greedy on this codex, I believe. No, I'm not. I'm not being... Oh, yeah, I have this one as well. So there's definitely different versions of this guy that I can use. So I'm not worried about him. So there's definitely other characters that I want to touch, but I don't see myself being able to complete those by the time the next times 2 comes around. And when the next times 2 comes around, I already have something that I really want to do, which is I want to try to improve the quality of the stuff that I think I should be able to improve very easily. And that is what I want to focus on, because I think at that point I ask myself, like, is there any other characters that I'll probably want to try to build? Yeah, but I'll probably have the capacity and resources that with the ×2 event I can probably start building towards in the next month. And those characters, just in case like you guys want to know, is going to be like the Lilith, the Silence will 100% be built, possibly a Hoyan, and also Doki Doki and Mia, right? So those characters, like I would like to, but I also didn't want to waste all my resources prepping them. So, you know, it's fine. Like she doesn't need to be leveled. She doesn't need to be leveled. Who else? She's already leveled. She is already leveled. Like I don't need to do any more prepping. So I'll focus on what I feel like is achievable, which is Tiamat. This is guaranteed, so we're gonna finish that. Beyontin's guaranteed, so we're gonna finish that. So it's really just Tiamat, Viper, and fuck you, and Sonya, right? 4 characters. Very, very realistic. So yeah. What's the Lilith tech I've been facing a lot in RTA is turn 2. I mean, that's the thing. It's just control. It's just having access to a control character to punish you. Because then what they do is like, they'll already have a Kazuya built. So they'll just use Kazuya and Lilith. You can only ban one of them, right? So then the other one just CCs you, and then you just slowly wither them away. And that's the whole strategy. It's simple as that. And also the thing about Lilith that makes her so good is when she places her bomb, the bomb, how it triggers is very similar to how Wide Yelly always has 100% uptime on her crit buff, because it activates kind of in the middle of the start of the turn. So you lose the turn when the bomb pops, and then you're still stunned for the next turn. And that's what makes her so strong. And then of course she has like, you know, the ability to guarantee stun someone. And she also has percent HP damage, so she's really good into bruisers. So you just build her like fast and stuff. How do you build green Sonya? I've seen some nigh unkillable ones in tournaments. Yeah. So how you're supposed to build the Sonya is you build her on Alicorn. So you go here, you farm this Alicorn, and the Alicorn is Bramble. Technically you can go Swift Rush, but Bramble's better. Then you go Bloodbath, and then you go Swift Smite. And the idea is that she'll be on like a fast, tanky, triple HP, or even I've seen people do 1 effect resist just to check you, because a lot of people that have their speed characters, their CC characters, they have a lot of speed on them, which means that they're not going to have as much effect accuracy, right? Because imagine trying to keep this Mia, right? Like look at the gear I need, and this is lucky that I have it on effect accuracy. But most people, like when they look at it, they're gonna have like a broken piece here and stuff, right? So they're not gonna have as much effect accuracy. And if they don't have as much effect accuracy, you only need 1 effect resist. So some people are doing like 1 effect resist and then double HP, because she has really good base HP once you 6-star her, level her up, and you know, do all this, right? And she already has some built-in effect resist. So you can go, oh, also you will have the what is it? Man, I just remembered. Oh yeah, you get effect resist from here. So there's that, and you'll have a bunch of effect resist from Bloodbath. That's what it was. You have 18% there. So one piece is actually enough that like you can shut down control characters as well. But then Alicorn is a redundancy. So because she's not able to be CC'd, she has so much HP, she has Bloodbath, she's healing. If you try to hit her, she brambles you, she takes a turn because it's a 30% turn meter boost, 30% when you max this. So you can start to see where that goes on. Do you do RTA streams? Pardon me if there's already VODs of it. I haven't actually done it yet, but I'm going to very soon. It's just that I didn't really feel like streaming it was good, because right now I'm just speed checking people, and it really is just right now, at least because people haven't been able to build their roster. It is just, have I rolled better speed than you? That's it. But now that I have more tricks like the Beyontin, the Veronica, and mostly after I have like this, probably, I don't think I'm going to do this season, but I think next season I'm definitely going to do it. It just depends on how I feel, because I'm diamond right now and I do need to go here. So I don't even know what the to do. So I do need to do the last two. I may do this on stream. I may not. The only issue is that if I do it on stream, it probably is fine for diamond. But once you get to master, there's not many players, because the top 200, from what I've been told, is still in master. Let me check. Maybe it's changed now that people are pushing. Yeah. See, look, there's there's only 62 people. So you have all of these, right? And these guys can start to snipe you very easily. Very easily. So I don't know. And there are some players in here like Tri-Edge, I think. Shiny is still here. So I don't know. I'm planning to just let a lot of these guys beat each other up. And the ones that I know that have better accounts than me right now, mostly when I don't have the shells, maybe after I get the shells online for the characters that I know that I can guarantee, and definitely if I get Tiamat, I'll be more willing to do it. But otherwise, I'm probably just going to wait until last week, where everyone's trying to go as far as they can and also be in that situation, because I do think that I have a better account than most of those players. So I should be able to just farm them, which should make the climb easier, which is better for me. Yeah, I know that I can do it. I'm not worried about if I can do it. It's just like, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered, because to me, if it's a bad meta, I start to hate the game, and I'm kind of scared of hating the game because of the state that it's in, because it's like, I don't have that wide enough roster yet to where I can deal with the problems, even though I know there's solutions to them. But now that I have some of the solutions, it's fine. So yeah. That's kind of the biggest thing for me. It's more of the mental side rather than like, can I do it? I know I can do it, but it's more of, I don't want to mentally boo myself. So that's the plan. You're gonna stay in the shell mines forever. Guess who deleted all of his shells? Wait, all of them? If I queue up into you and forfeit, does that count as win training and become bannable? First one, no. Second one, sketchy. If you start doing it on purpose and trying to snipe me, you may get banned. I'll get questioned, and I'll have video evidence of you doing that. So that's on you, man. I don't want anyone to win trade me. I don't want anyone to snipe me, anyone to win trade me. I want to just get there fairly, which is also why it's like, I may do it off stream. But I think that after next season, when there's a lot of options and there's like, they fixed out all the stuff that's very obviously unbalanced. Maybe they buff characters that deserve buffs. I would rather see buffs. Honestly, I'm just going to say it. I don't actually want Rev to get nerfed. I think Rev's fine. I think instead, I would like them to buff and add more characters that counter it. Like, to be honest. I would much, much rather that. I think that it would be a much better experience than if they were to do the a Rev nerf, to be entirely honest, because then Rev also makes PVE really easy. So like, I use Rev here, I use Rev here, and I could use Rev here. I use Rev to very quickly clear Nico, Sharon, Rengo. A lot of this, like, I think a lot of people would really dislike the game if Rev was nerfed. Even the people who agree that, like, is it really good? Yeah, but is there counters? Yeah, there actually is counters. The problem is, like, we just don't have enough resources to build it in a timely manner. So we're just stuck in this really hellhole situation for much longer than we should be. Like, yeah, that's the thing. I think that this is very much a situation where the dev should go, you know what? This is fine, and we know it's fine, but we could add more counters that give people more options to counter it, and then sell us the solution. And we as the players would be happy with that. I think that I would really try to avoid nerfing stuff as a developer. I think that you should, because it just causes more pain points. And most of the time, when you do that, people feel like you have to be compensated. So I'd much rather them buff and add in new options than nerf, personally. How does your Rengo team look like? My Rengo team is just, it is just Yelly, Kloss, and Lily with Valerian, right? Yelly, Kloss, Lily, Valerian. That's it. Nothing special. I'm gonna try to copy the stats of my my guildmate Neverlucky, who's doing. He said that his run's very consistent, and he hasn't been using like Artisan. He's just going full speed, just like this. So I'm probably gonna try doing that, and I do have the gear for it. Where is it? It's this one. So I'm gonna try this. I think this should be fine, because she'll be fast enough after the push up. So we'll see. Rengo 3-star, how? Just speed. You just need to have enough damage. And one thing that I have on this account has always been damage. Actually, I should switch to it now. Where is that? So it's this. Oh no, because I'm doing Hoyan. That's true. That is true. I am doing Hoyan. Hoyan, Hoyan, Hoyan. How do I do Hoyan again? What was my Hoyan again? Oh, Solance. Yeah, you're right. You right. It's Solance. Wait, shouldn't I just copy Mio gear then? Why does this seem insane? Sure. Sure. It's been a while since I've done this. I think all my things, like, I had to, like, nerf their speed. Oh, she doesn't have a shell. That would help. Bum, 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 bum. And I think it was just this. You know, changing equips inside? Oh, I'm so... Wait, how do you do that now? How? Oh, I forgot they added. Oh, that's so cool. Thank goodness. Finally. Sorry, I finally was trying to eat. Like, my food was getting cold, so I really wanted to eat real quick. Yeah. You know, when are they getting rid of these for the ball of like currency? Okay, so look at this. Oh, true. It's whale time, bros. It's whale time. Because it's the weekly reset. Where are we? Not sure if you guys heard my stomach growl, but there's a reason I was trying to eat. It's whale time. I love whaling. Where are we? Pop. Oh, wait, I don't even have to go here. I just need to go to the XD shop. You deliberate a whole day. Where are we? Special training. There we go. Let's grab that. Thanks for keeping the lights on. You're welcome. Wait. No game audio. Fixed. What's the ticket at the top besides the gems? It's called Hydra Vouchers. So like, if you want to make $100 purchase, you can. And then it you can use it to buy all the packs. But I don't usually do it. I did it because I was like stocking up is the easiest way to explain it. What else am I buying? So I buy this, I buy this, and I buy this, and I buy this. It's the $5 one. Come on, load. What else we got here? Oh yeah, that one. Just deleted Etheria. You're free. You're free. I'm proud of you. You have more will than the rest of us. And this is the last one. And this one isn't bad, to be honest, but I'm also trying to like slow down a little bit of the spending because I have spent a lot on this game, to be honest. I just realized you can buy the old skins. Oh, that's cool. From the shop. No, he doesn't need to go back to Etheria. He can just live Etheria vicariously through me. Don't try to ruin my views, okay? Thank you very much. Well, we get 2 of these. So what? We're like 1 off here. We have the reset coming up. Summon shop. We get this. We get this. I don't need to buy these anymore. I should still buy these. Buy these. Don't need to buy these. These are a little bit of a bait because you get it enough. So I need to go get this. And where is it? So this is where oh, they added Hoyan. They added Hoyan. That's actually cool. Okay. She was not in there. Let's do a Chaku Ring Adventure. Oh, nice. A 1. Oh, wait. Don't I just want to go as far as I can? Wait, I trolled. I could have clicked this and hit 60. I'm so good at this game. This is worth it. Yeah. This is it's not worth it for me. We need one last round here. Okay, cool. So no matter what, we're guaranteed to hit it. And then we can at least buy this. So the event packs that they release make it not worth it. I'm better off buying the event packs every time they come out, which are these. Love to see it. And then this one's going to tell me achievements. Get rid of that. Come here to arena, click this, get my rewards, stack some for this week. Now we work towards this. What are you searching for in Hoyant? So I need fodder, to be honest. I need fodder. I already have what I want. It's just the only thing is like maybe I could hit the shelf for Tiamat. But what I'm trying to do is I want to raise this one for Revelation and this one for Beyontin. So I need those because I don't have enough. This is the only one. Everything else is a 3 matrix. I don't get rid of these because you never know when they're going to be good and they're hard to get. So I only have 1 fodder, so I need 9 more of these, and then I need I got 1 fodder rev here, so and I have this, and I've used 1, so I need 9 more. I need 8 more revs for that. So that's what I'm farming here. And then what else? Union, we have check-in here. Union assist. May as well finish this because I've already been doing Veronica for so long. What else do we have here? This one. That just means we'll hit it. Using Dot Team and Hoyan? Yeah, just because I know it works. Sure. Doesn't really matter what I do here, to be honest with you. I'm going to destroy it anyway. No, they don't nerf. I just don't think they need to nerf Rev at all, to be honest. Like, the more and more I look at it. It's one of those things that they could very easily add something in that counters it. And there's already things that can counter it. It's just like, there's no characters that can fully counter it. Like, if they introduce a character that just says, you know, every time that you get hit for a certain amount of HP, like over 15%, you get healed. So it stops multi-attackers, right? Rev gets completely gutted. Let's see. Man, I really wish the dark one was the last one. This is gonna be a pain if it's like red or something. Rango Ferno Auto? I'm using just the standard Jelly, Kloss, Lily, Valerian team. Here we are. Now we can buy this. So we have this one. So we're gonna get another 6-star here, which is good. It's okay. Definitely potentially usable. So now I know to save these up as much as possible. Never, ever, ever should be using them at this point. Can someone please give me my thing? Is that it? Lilith? No, it's for this one. Oh well. Ah, man, I'm probably not going to get the red imprint from this, to be honest. The easy event. That was a good start. That's working towards my my red, I think, if I remember. Do you see Chloros usage anywhere outside of... Wait, what's UB? I mean, Gloss is fine in a lot of places. Oh, it is. Cool. Ah, sure, we'll hit this. Most people need this. Union Boss. I mean, you can use her in Doki. You can use her in Terror. And she's definitely usable. I mean, she shines in very specific places. When you need her, you want her, you know? I would still recommend most players. Like, if you already have your Giada, you pick her. Pretty sure one of my guildies was asking for Valerian last time. Man, it sucks. I only hit one. I still can't find this Rin, and I need 2 Rins. I'm actually not going to get it. It's kind of tilting. You don't get it, right? This is my last one for today. Yeah. So I come here. And I need this chick. It's the only one I need. I don't really care about this. What I care about is her. Because I really want this. And I don't even care about the gems. I just want this. And then I need Ren. Yep. 2 of her. Oh, I need. I shouldn't claim this because I don't care about this. I actually care about this more. What's my meme collection? I do have 2 of him. Okay. If I pick this, will it hit here? I only have one, so I still can't click it. Okay, so I need Ren, and then any of those guys. So I'll pick him because he's pretty common. You and Ren. And then this gets him every time. So we'll do that. The train event, I need to re-gear. I'm kind of hoping for some streamer luck right now. Oh, Chloros. Oh. I don't know why I read Kloss. No. Chloros is not really good in anything besides Terramaton and Union Boss, to be honest. Oh, I mean, technically if you overinvest with Rosa, it's good in Aurora, and it's good in Sharon. Because he actually still gets his thing on Sharon. I don't know if you see it on here. But there are people that can do this with Chloros. It's just like you don't need it. It's the problem. Oh, is that the tech here? They're using the new check on her. But technically you can use Chloros there. Sorry, I had to. The problem is you don't want to hit early. Wait. Oh, I understand how this works now. Set you back a certain amount of points. Actually, I do want to hit. No, I'll hit. There's one Chloros. Yeah, it's not like the best. Don't hit me, please. What's your speed? Say it. $300? I'm targeting you 100%. You're probably baiting me. You're a troll. I'll ban you if she's over 300. Wait, no, that just encourages you to lie because then you don't have to come and watch my stream. Loyalty means nothing. I need points. Yo, Mama's Little Gamer. I don't know if they're here. I didn't see them yet. But they inted me so much today. They were testing on my defense. And I got hit 5 times and I didn't know. Oh, hey Gobian, how's it going? I didn't know who it was that hit me. But it was this guy. Well. And I was like, wait, what? Why did I get hit? What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and then a 5th time. And he was like, oh, I was just trying to test a turn 2 against you. So I wanted to make sure that if I lost to someone that I wanted to lose to. I was like, that's wild. Yo, shall we watch what happened? Oh, he got outsped. Unlucky. Oh. You hate to see it. The classic. Well, we're starting to get those ambers. Your defense is better? Yeah, send it. I swear, if you send me an I am speed situation, I mean, this team is much faster than what it was originally. And a lot more consistent, too. Gear gapped. Pog. Hey, where's the streamer like, man? Just give me it so I can feel happy about myself. And then we go, wow, poggers. And then I tell you guys to spend money. And then we're good to go. Okay, let's see. Well, you know, if you send it to me, I have to show it. Where are we? Image. This is what we call I am defense. Does Solence need anything invested for this? Preferably her S3 to level 3. Makes it more consistent. Let's do that. I am defense. What a god. Not a single 1 in 30. Oh, and the weekly reset too. Punkers. Oh, we got so much money now. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay. Where are we? Let's RNG some rolls, man. Where are we? Brah. I mean, it's fine. It doesn't need to be anything special for her. That's annoying. It's annoying. It's annoying. What about... what's his face? No, no. Brah. Ooh. Ah, we're not gonna have money. I mean, this piece goes 15 no matter what, because it's just gonna be a good piece. Why am I getting PVE? Oh yeah, we have all these. Why is the guild boss not dead already? Who's slacking? Every time I get a bit of gold, we're gonna roll. Actually, to be honest, I really don't think I'm gonna keep any of these. Maybe the right side ones, like this one, if I'm desperate. If I'm desperate. I'm not that desperate. I'm not that desperate. I could be desperate. I could be desperate. No. No. No, no. Yeah, everything else is fine. Just commit. I should have bait myself into those. The 2 matrix. Now the rest is good. Pretty much everything else is rollable, to be honest. I know I'm broke. I probably missed it, but what's your thoughts on Rin Unbound? Not gonna lie, she looks fun as fuck with the team wipes. I think Rin definitely has potential if you have the gear for her. She is a very high gear ceiling character. Like, she definitely could do it. I know people are doing her on Rev as well. But I could even see her on something like Count or Law of this, or like, there's definitely a lot of builds for her. I'm probably going to build her eventually, but just right now, not. Not exactly. But she's definitely a character that I think is definitely going to be someone that you eventually build, for sure. She's a very good character, though. For PvP, at least. And I know that, like, some people were experimenting with eventually doing it with, like, being able to use her to very quickly kill Ho Yan and Nico and stuff. They already have Ting for that, so she's a late game, like, character that you can build. What matrices would you put on her? I mean, to be honest, you would just put her on, like what? It depends what shell you go, to be honest with you. Because some people right now are using her on Revelation because she still has 2 hits. But you could go like, nah, probably not Count. Can't go Void. Could just go White Fang. Swift Rush, Harvest, Swift Raid looks pretty good on her, to be honest. Yeah. Oh, so we're in the same boat, Nazumi. Don't vote for this guy when he says Suni. I wish, bro. I wish. Oh, thank you. No, probably not until like after the next ×2. Is Onslaught Fury good for Deting or Keen Eye Fury? Onslaught's not that great. Keen Eye Fury is definitely better out of those two, Andy. Onslaught is pretty much like, once you get to the late game, it's not good compared to like Keen Eye or even Momentum. It's just better at that point to go for like I think the only character that actually you can use Onslaught is Bjorn. And the problem with Bjorn is that he's just not good in a Revelation meta. But there is some potential for him if they nerf Rev. And potential in the future as well. Like, this guy could be good with really, but he needs really insane gear because of Revelation existing. Yeah, Onslaught's like an early game set. Once you get to the, like, where I am right now, like, having Onslaught is just significantly worse. Like, compared to Keen Eye, at least. Like, at the end of the day, work with what you have, but... like, Bjorn would be good Zero if it wasn't for the fact that, like, we're in a Revelation spam meta. If the meta goes to like turn 2 and stuff, Bjorn is very good. He's a great bruiser that also breaks through bruisers. So. Because he has built-in lifesteal too. Not that great actually. What's the build for the new character? Fuck you. Something. Shall I go full HP? It's so there's a PVE set, which is just Wellspring. Pretty much just Wellspring, some Swift Rush, and then like Swift Smite, just for speed. Like you can do that for PvE, but for PvP at least, it's Bloodbath, Swift Rush, and then you can either run the 8 Swift Rush with a 6-piece if you can get more speed that way, but it's the same speed. Like having a 6 and an 8 versus a 12 Swift, it's the same amount of speed. Because it's still 35% regardless. Fuck you plus Doki? Yeah, I actually have a guildmate that's doing exactly that. Who's the leader of Scarlet? I mean, you can just go on the Discord and message me, and then I can forward it to him. It's probably the best bet. Let's see. Does Revelation work on Remulcha? It does work on Remulcha, but it only works on the target that is being hit. So it won't work towards the splash damage, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Man, I just need fodder, bro. And they're giving me everything else. See, I'm not gonna lie though, I'm kind of happy that I'm not gonna be here that long for the for this part of it. To be honest with you, like not having to spend as much time on my dailies is gonna be a good break for a bit. Because I do want a little bit of time to maybe go and have like a quick, like, you know, detox of Etheria, but come back right away. I can still do the dailies, but like I need a little bit of a detox right now because it's just been so, like, a whole month of it. That ×2 did not give me any effect accuracy with speed. I mean, that's how it is sometimes. I got pretty lucky. I have enough to do what I need, so. I was hoping to only have to do 1 day of Hoyan and then be out, but we'll see. Where are we? I should probably like raise these just so I can keep in mind how far away I am. I raised the wrong one too. Pretty sure this one was already raised, this other level. No, it wasn't. Okay, we're good. This was the level 10 one. Building another Swift Rush abuser. I mean, sorry, Rev abuser. 2 times drained me. Touching grass is gonna feel... Yeah, exactly. Do they ever do ×2 on shells? No, they have not done that yet. I mean, shells, in theory, have a much closer end compared to the infinite gear grind. So I don't think they'll ever do ×2 shell, because there's a world where, like, eventually you do just stop building a lot of shells for a while. Okay, there's that one. That. Red. I was hoping for red speed casually. Let's go here. We gotta sell all the golds. I don't know how people run out of those reconfig chips. I just don't. Yeah, it's gonna feel so good to be able to like just have a little bit of a break. And not have to play the game as much. But there's still that I have a few more grinds ahead. I have anti-sync. I got the reset of Ethernet Rally, and then I have Ember Track, and then I have the RTA. Hey Linux, how's it going? Let's see if we get some other broken shells. I mean, I also wouldn't mind like a really good Law of Silence. Because there's definitely some builds with Law of Silence I could. Yeah, I could cook something with it. Thank you for the guides. They did help me a lot. I'm happy that they helped you. I would definitely redo a lot of things differently, but I still think general advice that I gave was still accurate for the most part. I think specific advice, there was a lot of things that now would be different. One thing I want to do, but I probably won't do until after the season happens, is I want to do a free-to-play account eventually. Because I know there's still a lot of new players coming in. Hey Detox, how's it going? I'm doing pretty well. Pretty well. I mean, it could be better if I get like some crazy drops here. But we'll see. Oh crap. Wait, is this my first failed run? I haven't seen it. Yeah, actually I think this is my first failed run. Because I don't think this is enough to kill. Yeah, it's not. Huh. Well, that's surprising. It is what it is. Learned a lot from the bricking sessions. That would be a good place to learn, to be honest. There's definitely a lot to learn when you look at like how I give guidance, like depending on the spot you're in, because I think that's like the hardest thing. The hardest thing about the gacha games, which also I kind of like, right, is that not everyone's like, there's a lot of stuff that we talk about, which is like tax, right? Linglo, Viper, Vice, all those taxes. But it's also nice to like know that, because once you know that direction, you can make better and smarter decisions, which is like now it's gonna be a lot easier for new players to not have as many struggles as we did, because they're gonna go in with that information, mostly because they're gonna look at the guides and stuff. And you know, that's also one reason why I want to like do a free to play account, because I want people to be able to just literally follow that and not have to worry about, oh, I made mistakes and now I have to hope that I can get in when I do account reviews and hope that they even make it through, because you know there is a lot more of you guys than there used to be when I first started. So it also means that like it's harder to get in, and I only have limited time on account reviews too. So there's that. You did manage to spend all of your stamina? Nice. I know a lot of people kind of dump at the end, so I'm glad that you got through it. I actually wish I had more, because I definitely have fast enough teams now that I could probably have popped double the amount that I had for sure without worry. So I'm really hoping that I can do that. But now I know that there's like a huge like, now that we know this is going to come every like 4 to 6 weeks, I can just save up all my stamp pots and then dump it. I did spend 20 on shells, and I do regret doing that. because I was trying to like get as strong as possible for the tournament, which I shouldn't have done. I should have just gone in and yeah, but yeah, it was fine. Didn't really put me behind or anything. People didn't finish because we have 5-minute runs on Inferno. That's true. I don't have 5-minute runs, so it's actual release being so different from open beta kind of screwed us because everything we knew was not relevant. Yeah, exactly. And in a game full of information, making inaccurate like decisions based on the information that you were provided by the game as well, by the way, previously with no clarity on changes was definitely the worst part of this game for sure. I think the opening, like the first 2 weeks of this game were the worst part of this game. I think now it's fine because we made it through, but it definitely had a very rough curve for sure. I think that if I were to redo it now, mostly after like the slight difficulty adjustments and toning down, which were correct, they definitely needed to tone them down. I still would argue that Rengo probably could be toned down and not worry too much about it, because I think that if you're going to put so much emphasis on like revelation, you should probably make the stuff that's supposed to be the answer to it a lot more accessible, rather than we're going to gate it behind something that is taking so long to get to. So you have to just deal with that frustration like a ridiculously longer amount of time than you would. But yeah. I lost my few friends in the way they couldn't make it to level 100. Yeah, that's the other thing, right? Being too reactive definitely led to a lot of people quitting. So if they just toughed it out, though, I think the game definitely has a bright future now that they're learning from their mistakes. They took the losses where they didn't need to take the losses, but now that they have, they definitely know that they can bleed. A big problem with a lot of Chinese developers is that they get success and then they think that because once they made it type of deal, which is actually pretty standard in their culture, right? That's generally a thing. Like once you make it to the top or feel you're at the top, they generally get very complacent and feel like they're very dominant, right? So they're very pleasing until they're in a dominant position. And that's just a cultural thing, right? And then that's what leads to those mistakes. You know, you see it in Hoyoverse, you see it in other Chinese games, and that's more of a cultural thing. And I don't think that's necessarily wrong. That's like, there's nothing wrong with anything being cultural. But the problem is that it doesn't work with an audience that is not there. And also, China in games are very unhinged. They will not stand for that. So there's that. They're very lucky that this did not have a public, like technically Chinese players were not supposed to have access to it. Right? In theory. So they weren't really complaining too much about it. But the Chinese forums were more pissed about the fact that there's too many male characters. So I think they were a little bit more distracted. Is your Viper just for Dispel? Yeah, my Viper is mainly just for Dispel, but also the fact that it puts an attack down and speed down. He's just a really good defensive tool for PvE. Also, I think it's smart that they're holding Steam release until they improve the game. Yeah, for sure, because Steam is definitely the big one. No, like literally when I was wondering like what they were complaining about, and so I asked like one of my guildies who can go on the forum, and they were sending pictures of like the forum post, and they were like, so the translation for this is has men skip, and it's just 100. No, it was like 600 something messages, if I remember correctly, of them all just saying the same phrase, has men skipped, or I don't play this game because it has guys. Just nonstop when people were like reviewing it. And it wasn't just there, like they were just going ham on it. They have no chill when it comes to that stuff. Are they planning to release the game on Steam? They said that they want to eventually release it on Steam. They want to eventually release it officially into Japan market and China. You know, the markets that are a little bit more restricted and have like specific laws and stuff. So yeah. Let the CN players skip. They'll listen to EN players more for a change. Nah, the Chinese market is so big, it generally keeps it alive. So I'm just talking shit in my guild chat real quick. I completely missed my opportunity to be account reviewed last week. Am I good for the next one? Yeah, I definitely, I want to do more account reviews, but at the same time right now there's a lot I have to do in this game, and I also need a little bit of a break. So I'm gonna like slow down and just focus on doing the things that I've been wanting to do, which is telling you guys how to focus on, like, how to look for good gear, which I learned how to do and been able to test it and learn what other good players are doing. So I can give you that video. I want to start talking about like my characters more, which I just did on stream. So you guys can kind of understand what I'm thinking about with my account and the direction and the stuff that I'm looking towards building. I need to make sure I go get Mythic and RTA. I need to do Ember Track hard. I need to do Anti-Sync 42 all the way up to the new Shadowrunner, and then Ethernet Rally Reset. So I have a lot to do, and I want to get that stuff done because I don't really want to skip it. But after like that, in like a week or two, I'll probably do account reviews again. But I know that for some people, that's not really a reasonable time. So we'll see. I'll try to fit something in there between it, but I need a little bit of a break right now with that. Farming shells anyway until the next times 2, so I'm fine there. Oh, yeah. You can't go wrong with farming shells. Maybe they would have to make every character like male rover and female rover. Honestly, you know what? I'm just going to say it. The game that's truly going to blow up. I've been saying it for a while, and this is why it's like, I actually think Chaos Zone Nightmare was so close, but they fucked up with doing chibis, was a roguelike card game, which Chaos Zone Nightmare was going to do, but now it could even be like a card game in general, because, you know, Shadowverse is proven with like how popular it is, despite having terrible reviews on the Steam, right? Getting bombarded with like all of that. You know, they've been a success. So I expect in the future we're going to get it, but it's like a card game gacha that also has the, like, the banner is you have a 50-50, but it's always guaranteed to be like the character that you're after, right? But if you pull it, the 50-50 is if you get the male version or the female version. So yeah. That's kind of the goal. I didn't download it because of the reviews. The reviews were more Steam review bombing. It's really just a small portion of the audience that were very vocal. The game is great. I would recommend it still to most players. And they improved a lot of the issues that people had, so I would still recommend it. But yeah, like, I just don't know why you don't do that. Just make a male and a female version, and then make that the 50-50. So like worst case is when you pull it, you still have that 50-50 hype of, am I going to get the version that I want? And then when you see the male, you go, ah, no, I pulled the PP. And then you go for the other one. So you have that little fun thing. But if you're, you know, a budget player or whatever, you just kind of accept the fact that, oh, okay, I got the PP version, but I got the character. It's still usable exactly the same way. You know, it's not worth to drop the resource model too. Gacha games can definitely take a little bit of the L on it, because then you're also technically getting like, yeah, I mean, I think it's fine for the most part. I'm gonna be honest, if they're making gacha level money, it's worth the resources. To be honest, it's worth the resources. Yes, it is skins in a way, but the thing about skins is that the reason why gacha is so successful is that it takes a product that normally, for the longest time in gaming, up until gacha became a thing, you could only sell for like $20 to $25 at most. And because you put a price tag on it, people were a lot more like synced in on if that was worth their money. The reason why gachifying it is so successful is because they I forget the word for it, but pretty much they try to hide it between all these different, like, you know, the primo gems, the in-game currency as well. So you still don't realize the actual price, right? And that's the whole gimmick. That's why they do it and have 1 million currencies in this game. because they're trying to hide the fact that in reality they turned a product that's $20 to $25 into an average of $100, you know, which jacked it up 4 times. Offsuit case. I can't pronounce it, man. I'm not gonna try to pronounce it. Pretty much, they're putting through a bunch of filters to hide the actual worth of it, and the fact that they're charging you for 4 times. You're waiting for the Digimon one to come out. The only one that I'm like, the only ones that I'm really like looking forward to, like actually looking forward to in terms of games, is I'm looking forward to Chaos Zone Nightmare, but I think because of the chibis, I'm not really going to enjoy the game more than it being a casual game. The other one is Hoyoverse has their like Pokemon, like kind of Pokemon Pow World type of version. I'm very excited for that because I do think, like, you know, as much as people like hate Hoyo and stuff, Hoyo, every single game they come out with is always a banger after Genshin. Like, I think that obviously ZZZ, if you look past the TVs, was a banger. Okay, Star Rail, everyone can agree it was a banger when it first released, right? At the end of the day, like, they only get better. So I'm fine with it. I think that if they put out a good product, it's worth it. And I think that they can definitely put out a good product that is worth the time to at least try out, you know? I don't think that's really a game like that's the level of a game that I would try. I've heard there's some rumor going around that Kuro Games is going to be making an MMO PvP game. And I don't know. I only literally just was told about it today. So I don't know anything about where this rumor is coming from. But if that's true, that's fucking hype. And then Azure Premilia. I'm really fucking stoked for Azure Premilia because it looks like, don't get me wrong, I think that some of the Azure Premilia characters are a little bit too gooner for me even. But I think in terms of like, I like the Pokemon world aesthetic. I like that system, and I think that gachifying that is fine because I like dailies. I like reasons to log in, right? I think like modernizing upon the Pokemon model and finding ways to do it, even if it's hidden behind like gacha, I think it's fine. I don't have any problem with that. Neverness to Everness? I am excited for that, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I feel like they haven't really improved it in the areas where I feel like I want it to improve when I looked at it. So we'll see. I'm definitely trying it, but I'm not like hyped for it. I'm like excited to try it because it's kind of like the next gacha game, but it's not on my, this is the game that I'm actively seeking towards. Like, I need to play this. Like, I will drop everything to play this. And I'm actually like, that may make me quit whatever games I'm playing right now to play that game. That it's not at that level. So yeah. Gambling addiction, that's true. Part of it is I have a crippling gambling addiction that is being filled by gacha rather than me going to a casino. 100%. Yeah, that's fine. Honkai Impact was fire. Yes, Honkai Impact was actually good. I didn't even really, I played that back in like 2018, like just casually on the phone. And I remember the first time I played it, I was playing Epic 7 at the time, and I liked those games, and I was trying to look for more like gacha games and stuff because I didn't really want to play Epic 7 anymore because there was like a period where I wasn't really happy with the game, and I was like looking at other options for the first time. And I remember just stumbling upon it, and I was just like, this game is gorgeous for a phone game. It was just so good. I never really stuck to it because it was a bit too much for my phone at the time to handle. It like made it melt itself compared to like Epic 7. But like if I had a good phone at the time and stuff that could support it, like that was a good game to play and just enjoy. So yeah. Have you ever played Exo's Heroes? It was my favorite game of all time. No, I have not played it before. At some point, E7 laid off the entire quality assurance team. Sounds about right. Oh, it makes good looking games. Yeah, they do. They do. I was like, Genshin, funny enough, like I know Genshin was like their pop-off moment, like their real pop-off moment. Honkai Impact was definitely a good game and it definitely did well for them. But Genshin, no one can argue that is their pop-off game. That is their golden goose. But I'm going to be honest, it's probably their worst game. Like, I don't know. It's just, it's a little bit weird, right? I played it and then I wasn't too interested in it because it was a bit, it just took too long and my brain was like fried. I just didn't like the no cutscenes. It's very archaic. It's weird because it feels like it's a step back from what other products they put out there. When I look at like their older products, they look better than Genshin, in my opinion. Maybe it's like it's too cartoony for me, but then I remember Honkai Star Rail. I didn't know it came out, right? Because I wasn't really into gachas. I was playing other games. Like E7 was pretty much my only gacha game that I was really playing until 2022. Until like 2024 actually. Like only very recently. Wow, what? So this can still fail. I could probably improve this run if I really put in the effort by like doing a deting or something. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. It's fast enough. I could probably improve this for sure though if I really wanted to. But yeah, I mean, I just wasn't too interested in Genshin. I felt like it, out of all their games, it was the worst product. But then I played Honkai Star Rail and I went, holy shit. I wish I got into it because I got into it like 2 months. Wait, no, sorry. It came out. When did Honkai Star Rail? I played it in December of, I think, 2024, 2023. But it was the same year it came out. So Honkai Star Rail release date. But it was like quite a few months later. Yeah. So it was 2023. I ended up playing it. I think it was like end of November, early December, because I just wanted something to play in like a very awkward period where like I didn't have anything to do. Like a lot of my games were kind of dead and I just wanted to try a different game. And I ended up playing it and it was just, oh, holy moly. And then I realized, oh, this is this type of gacha game. And it was like the FOMO factor where because I didn't start at the start, I feel left behind. And I just didn't feel like I wanted to bother because there's characters that I liked like Seal that had already passed and I knew I couldn't get them. And I was just like, well, I don't like the characters that are on the current banner, so I'm just not going to play. Wu was really good. The problem is like now I think that I only have room in my own personal gameplay experience for one active non-auto gacha game. So that is like your Zenless. And right now it's Zenless for me. I enjoy Zenless, but I'm also at a point where I feel like their introduction to season 2 was not as good as their story so far in season 1. And that they're not delivering on what they built up. So if they don't fix that in this patch that's going to happen tomorrow, I think it's tomorrow. This Thursday. Yeah. If they don't fix that, I'm very open to like finding a new game, which is where Never to Everness will probably fill, and then like Chaos Zone Nightmare. But Chaos Zone Nightmare I think could be a side game, but Never to Everness may be like my filler game until they release. Like knowing that I'm gonna eventually quit because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna quit. Like actually no, I'm 100% sure that when Hoyoverse drops like their Pokemon game, or they introduce, or we get Azure Primelia, those are gonna be like the ones where I'm like, which one is it that is my main like open world game, right? Dude, ZZZ story season 1, like it's hype, man. And I'm gonna be honest, it's so good, like in terms of the story. And I do like the season 2 intro, but it's so slow. I want to be introduced to these villains more. I want the story to progress faster. Like a part of me is also at the point where it's like, even if I stop or go play a different game and I come back and I'm like behind, I don't care. That is a game I truly will play just for the story. And I'm not really a story type of guy, to be entirely honest with you. But ZZZ is the first story-driven gacha game that's truly like grabbed me by the balls and just went, I want this. Like I'm actively looking up lore videos and following through with the lore. Like actively I want to consume that content, which is not normal for me. I don't do that. You know, Honkai Star Rail I think is cool and the story's okay. It has banger moments, but I don't feel invested in it. This one I am invested in, and yes, Alter, the music is so good. Like I'm not gonna lie, it's in my playlist when I'm at work. That is music that gets played in the background and I hear that constantly. There is a whole part of like my track that is dedicated to it. So it's good. All right, ZZZ has a very slow start, okay? But once you get introduced to the actual meat of it, with the whole conspiracy, it gets very good. Like, it actually is a story that I'm interested in. Which team you selected in EWS Global Invitation event? So I talked about it at the start of the stream. 84% of these people are about to be very disappointed because they picked the wrong team. It is not even close. It's Team Nico Nana. And then for this one, this is actually Depor, but I picked Depor. I think Keka or Depor are probably the best picks, like safest picks. Shiny is your gambling, but you could be rewarded depending on how his times 2 went. And Neon is the wild card. He is the one that has the potential, but I don't think he has, like, I don't think he knows what to do beyond the Rev characters. He is the Rev god, but I think these players are just better than him, to be honest. And that's not biased because they're in my guild. That's actually just like from what I've seen. And then Shiny is a good player. It's just that he's a turn 2 player, and I don't know if it depends on if he's hit. If he's hit, there's a possibility that he can do it. But I also think that people have been building with the fact that they know that Shiny is like the only player that's not turn 2 that could hit. This is a good one for PvE though. Every story update after 1.4 has been boring for me. I think that's fair. There was a lot of filler though. Like the bringer thing, like the finale, that's all been good. I'm willing to give ZZZ like 1 or 2 more patches. But by then my patience is up. To be honest with you, my patience is up. Like my patience with like Wuwa was up. Like Carletta was an amazing character. Every other character I don't really care about. I actually have not cared about any character in Wuwa since Carletta, to be honest with you. So like Wuwa looks great, but I was thinking the world is not as vibey as I want it to be. So I left that game. But I'm gonna be honest, every character since Carletta has been mid. Like they hit their peak. They had Yinlin, then they had Camilla, and then they had Carletta, and then they had Chingli as well, right? Every other character past then has been mid. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I like the girl with the scissor swords that they're coming out with. I forget what her name was. She was the one that got like super crazy liked on Twitter. Where is it? Withering Waves. Where are we? Chisa. I like her, but she is plain. Like, is she better than Carletta? No. Carletta, I think, was just such a perfect character because they even got Rin's voice actor. And I'm going to be honest, there's so many characters, like every time it's Rin's voice actor, I know it's going to be a good character. I don't know why. They just always put her into the characters that I like. I don't know, maybe I have a type, but it just happens to line up that way. It's literally not planned. It's more of like, I see this character, I'm like, oh my God, they look great. Oh my God, this character looks so cool. I love it. And then they throw the voice actor. I'm like, nah, bro, no. It's always her. And I'm just like, bro, like this, I'm not trying to say I have a type, but maybe she just happens to have the voice that fits the types that I like. I don't know. Chisa is the perfect weeb bait. Yeah, she is. She's a nice character, but I'm gonna be honest. Like when you look at her from like a macro scale, like she looks appealing, right? I 100% baits me. Am I gonna go back to pool and play for her? No. You know, I have my R6 Carletta. I'm not proud of what I spent for that, but I enjoy Wuwa when I come back to play the update very casually. I'm happy to be a casual, and I'm happy to know that my Carletta give me a great experience. Even though her swimsuit skin was terrible. It's terrible. It's a terrible skin. Very plain, very boring. They could have done a lot more. I'm happy with it. Yeah, the scissor sword is cool. It is cool. I do like those type of swords. I like those and scythes. Like, honestly, the only thing that could have been better for Carletta is if she had a scythe. Because I'm not going to lie. Scythes are the coolest weapons in those type of games, bro. dun, dun. Yeah, this run's taking a while. Did it fail? Did someone die? Is that why? No, they're just not letting you move. Maybe they'll have more because they did a survey for it? Maybe. I mean, I didn't fill it out, so I don't know how many other people are keen on the scythe. Man, I just want fodder. Where are we? Oh wait, no, I just go here. There's already a scythe in Wua. Yeah, but how do you not vibe with Carletta a water gun with a bait? Oh, not give. Yeah. Life's just not fair, bro, honestly. She needed the water gun. And then I don't know, those summer skins, they were mid. I'm gonna be dead ass honest with you. They were the most mid skins. They had so much potential. When I heard that they were doing the summer ones, I went, this is gonna be banger. And then I saw the trailers, I looked at them in game, and I just went, this is the biggest letdown out of any summer skin I've ever seen, like in any game. I'm gonna be honest, they dropped the ball on all of them. Like they gave it to easily the two best characters that they could have given it to, and then they just, I don't know, they fumbled in the second half, you know? Changli's was fire? I don't remember it being fire. I remember seeing it and I went, that's kind of mid. Changli swimsuit. Actually, it does look better in the game than it did the trailer, to be honest, now that I'm looking at it as a second one. Yeah, it's okay. I didn't buy either, so I kind of skipped it, so I kind of forgot. I just pulled Shadow Sonya and I can finally make my dot team. How do I build them? Speed. Speed. The Cantarella sensor had them shook. Bro, I'm gonna be honest, she was too... Okay, see, there's like a Gooner scale, and I think that, like, unless you're selling your game as a Gooner game, like actually Gooner game, you need to tread that line carefully. And Wuwa sold itself as, we're a waifu collector game, not a Gooner game. It just happened that some girls are, you know, a little bit more dominant or exerting dominance than others, and others are a little bit more submissive, right? And that's fine. They have that balance. But then they said, you know what? I've seen the numbers on Brown Dust too. Let me just shove out too far. And I felt like they went too far on the scale, where it was like, it's not really what I was expecting out of Wuwa, you know? I felt like they didn't need to go that hard. But I'll say one thing. I actually think that her character is not like as great. I think it's very like overly exerted. But the cosplays, holy shit. That was the best week of the release. Because you would see all the people with cosplayers posting on Twitter and stuff. Master Chef. Absolute kiss to the chef. See, that's the real reason why you make those type of characters, because you know that the cosplayers are going to go do it, because that's their whole thing. And let me just tell you, that shit, wow. That shit, that was top tier. Not the amber we want. Get me the amber we want. Well, that's always the best time, right? When you get those good characters, you're like, okay, we got to keep an eye on the cosplayers. Time to add them back into the list, you know? It censored the game for like a patch that removed it right after. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, they banned their own footage. That's true. That's very funny. I mean, they're never gonna do it again. That's the only thing, though. Man, let's see. I probably need to cook a better version of this, like a better OEN team now. We may as well see what other people are doing. Surely I can just like, I know they nerfed her too. Are we still dotting this? Is that really the best one? The Ting? Sure, I guess. But my Ting's not that amazing. I don't know. I think it may just be because there's no like good dark DPS besides Ting, and Ting is just a little bit too squishy for here, most likely, to at least be a consistent one. We'll have to see. I know apparently like there's that dark guy, so if he's like a good DPS, then maybe I build him if he is also good in PvP, and then he also happens to carry over here, something like that. But we'll have to wait to see. Are you gonna come back to? I'm not really that interested on the Cyberpunk. Honestly, I don't really care about Cyberpunk. If I'm gonna be dead as honest, it's just not really my style. I'll probably come back just like I always log in just for like the rewards and stuff, just to pile those up, even if I don't get like the dailies and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Just it hasn't really like there's been nothing that's really made me go, oh yeah, I want to play the game. I come back and maybe I'll play the story, but I don't like 100% like I did. I've really enjoyed the game at the release and like the first big expansion. It's just I don't know. It just didn't have the sticking power to me though, like ZZZ did. ZZ definitely is like the only game that's gotten me to stick for those open worlds. Also because it's not really like fully open world, it's kind of semi-closed, like Star Rail. So. And I just don't enjoy Star Rail because I feel like PVE turn-based games are just a little bit rough if they don't have, I don't know. Star Rail is great as a game, but at the same time, it's like them power creeping it is a little bit cringe because now I know that I have some friends that have like Edelon 2 characters, like E2 characters and stuff in E3, and they're like starting to struggle. Which is just stupid in my opinion. So I just don't bother. I like stopped after also I hate this current world. I really dislike, I thought I would like it because it was like Greek themed and I loved Greece. I was a really big like history nerd on that and like the Roman Empire and stuff in high school and stuff. That was like something I really enjoyed and actually took interest in, but I didn't really have like that sticking power to like their take on fitting and designing it for their world. I don't know. It just felt very boring. And the only character that was interesting there was Castris, who was obviously designed to be bait. So I also felt like, oh, well, she looks great, but I mean, there's no one else to be excited for. So do I just wait for her and then she's boring, you know, because she's obviously going to be broken. Yeah. There's no wow moments in this to me, like there was in, crap, I already forget the world name, in the dream world. So for Rengoku Inferno, do I need Kloss to get it past the little mob that silences on Lily Boost? Or does that always happen? I mean, it's just a speed check for your DPS on how fast they are, like for the Lily push-up. Kloss does help with it though, but yeah, you can get past it if you have enough speed, is the thing, on your DPS. Kloss is actually more there. Penacony, yeah, true. End of Penacony was horrible and 3.0 was the nail in the coffin. I think the ending was like fine. It was still pretty hype. I think the cinematics was cool. But I do think the boss battle was a little bit like, oh, this is the boss? This is the showdown versus this big giant thing? I thought it would be versus, you know, I mean, I guess it made sense since that was the first one, but I don't know. It wasn't as cool as like the first arc, right? Because you were running up the giant robot in the first arc and getting that whole thing, and you had that inner monologue moment. Like, that was cool. That was hype, right? They didn't capture that, but the song, the music, Robin, the train hitting into it, that was pretty good. It was a hype moment, but then there's so much filler in between. It was so boring. And 3.0 was just bad. It's just, the start was just bad. And I know people said that it's gotten better, but it's like, listen, I'm just not going to waste my time with it, because there's the meta problems in that game that are happening right now, and trying to go back and catch up on it, because like in turn-based games, when there's meta problems, you feel it a lot more, because there's not a way to get around that with skill, right? In like WoWA or ZZZ, like in theory, if you're good at mastering like your rotations and stuff, you can normally like do it by actually playing well, right? Now, if you play the meta, most of the time you don't have to play well, or you only need to play somewhat optimally, at worst in the really difficult content, but you can always bypass it too. So you can still play what you want, but in that game, when they power scale, it's just like stat checks. So I actually haven't really played Genshin. I want to give it like, I went to Genshin only once, which was when they released Genius Invocation in the game, and I bought an account to go and play it. Like, because you needed to be leveled up, and I was so depressed when to unlock some of the cards you had to actually go and play like this character stories or stuff, and I didn't know what to do because I never really played the game, and I just quit after that, because I was like, I would rather shoot myself than play this game to unlock more of the cards. So the TCG was banned in the game? No, I really liked Invocation, Genius Invocation. I felt like if they made that into a standalone game, I would 100% play that if they built upon it. I think for like a mini game, like a base mode, it was very good. And if they built upon that and flushed it out, it could have been a situation like Gwent, where the game was really good, it flushed out. But they also kept to the core, which was Gwent's problem, which was they tried to go too far away from the core to balance it, rather than just letting it be a good game that was fun, that was developed. Miyabi is the meta. That was doo-doo. Miyabi's fine. I like Miyabi. Okay, I know she's the classic weeb bait, but I'm the classic weeb. I accept the fact that she was bait for me, and I welcome it wholeheartedly. Yijuan has entered the chat. Bro, the stockings, the fact that it makes the sound when you walk, I'm not gonna lie, man. That skin, best use of money I've had for a while in that game. Not gonna lie. Haven't actually built her properly though, because I still am just using Miyabi. I'm just using the teams that I've been using the entire time. But she good, man. She good. Overworld, I use her a lot more often. A lot more often now. So, and there is a reason for that. Man, this is just depressing. Die? No, it didn't die. There we go. Bro, this is actually cringe, man. Like, I'm barely getting any. I've gotten 2. So I forgot how bad this was. It's been a while since I was farming shells, so I just feels bad coming back and seeing that. Now we got all this. Yo, who's slacking? Oh, it's blue at the end. Ah, it's gonna be annoying this week. I don't look forward to Guild Boss. Oh no. I mean, I got the Rahu. I guess Copium. Could have been worse. Could have been red. Could have been red. What skill should you max first on Doki Doki? Her S1 or S3? Depends on how you're using her. But S1's pretty good. Does Lens need any skill ups? You can do 1-1-1, but you're gonna have more consistency if you skill up the S3 to level 3. And to be honest, I was gonna do it anyway at some point when I eventually like try to build her for PvP. So like I don't even think it's a bad investment. She's definitely a character that Silence is one of those characters that, yeah, 1-1-3 only. You can build her like right now. Okay, if they don't nerf Revelation, I'm definitely building Silence up to 6-star, and I'm going to also put her on the list of characters that now I have to pay the tax and skill up her S1 to 4 because I need the speed, just like Freya, right? So that's what it is. But you can also do 4-1-5 on her because against like, you know, tankier comps, you can build her tankier as well. And then she can rev them down with the fact that she does get the sync with her S3. Okay. Still not getting anything here. Her kit is so clunky. You want HP for the shield, but effect accuracy on her low rate forgetfulness. It's fine because you gotta remember she does 4 hits. Wait, is it 4? I'm pretty sure it's 4. Pretty sure it's 4. That's what makes her really good with Rev. Yeah, so it's 4 hits at 30%. Now, you can use effect accuracy, and after you cancel out the amount, so if you have enough effect accuracy to cancel out whatever the resist is, plus 30 on top of that, she'll have a 60% chance to land every single time she attacks. So you do that 4 times, there's a pretty good chance that she's landing that forgetfulness. But if they don't nerf Rev, you're just gonna play her on full like Revelation DPS because she has 4 hits. So yeah. Do you think Nahor was a flop? No, he does exactly what I said that he was gonna do at the start, which was he's gonna be very good for specifically Doki Doki, and that's it. Like, that was it. So there's no surprise. I said that the first time I saw him, never changed my opinion on him, and I was absolutely right. Same way that I'm pretty right about, like, the only reason I was like wrong, I guess, with fuck you is the fact that she didn't work with Amber, but I even said that I'd have to test that. And even if she wasn't, she'd still be pretty good for like turn 2 players. And the only thing I was wrong about was the fact that I didn't point out that she was also going to be good in PvE. I didn't expect her to be like as good in PvE, but it was more of that, like, I keep forgetting that a lot of people still struggle with some of the content. I thought it very much is that I'm out of touch, and the fact that there's some people that still haven't cleared all the Inferno content. I thought like the only thing that people would be struggling at is Rengotsuku, but there's still a lot of people who've been playing since day 1 that are struggling with some content here or there, and she helped with that sustained problem. Are your teams in Nico or Doki for the esport? Oh, I'm team Nico Nana. It's not even close. If you want the rewards, you should do Nico Nana. Looks like we need to wait for end of season. Yeah, that's the only reason why I'm not committed to the to the Revelation, because I see a world where they nerf it, but I also see a world where that nerf to Revelation is like they take off 2% of the max HP and make it 10%. Like that's it. Because that would nerf it to where you need a lot. Like supports would still be able to use it, but it wouldn't be as potent on the supports. Because that's a lot. That's pretty much an 8% nerf to it. To characters like Solence and Freya. So yeah, it's a sizable nerf actually. So I wouldn't be surprised. Heck, even 9% if they were like, okay, we're just gonna kill it. But the problem is I don't expect them to toggle it too much. Hey Larry, how's it going? It'd be nice if I just randomly hit the amber and I can be like, oh my god, and then you guys go streamer lock. But instead, here we are struggling. Ran out of gold tofu, just like us. We're all there. Well, I mean, I got a few. It's just I know exactly where they're going, though. To be honest, I kind of don't want to hit the amber at the same time because I'd much rather chase the lighthouse. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Man, I really hope I just get the fodder though, because not gonna lie, I really just want to move on to Ringo tomorrow. Made your dot team during ×2. Very nice. Is this the time to do it? Bro, don't give it to me. I don't want those. Don't tempt me. The game's saying, listen, we're not going to nerf Rev. Build more Revs. Just do it. And then next ×2, Kyoya, just farm Doki. Be an abuser. Join them. Don't do turn 2. Tiamat is deceiving you. Join us. Rev abuse. And I'm like, no. No. I'm going to be relatable. I'm going to be just like them. Slow. Turn 2. Skillful. Out drafting. And the game's like, no. Rev. Is Obel a must build? I would say yes. He's very good for a lot of PvE content, and he can be very good in PvP as well. He's definitely a character I would build if I was you know, at times if I were to do a free-to-play account and I got him, he would definitely be a character I would be debating to build. At some point, absolutely, because he actually helps me with pretty much all of anti-sync. Even without like the other dot characters. He's just so good. I'm not sure where to start with Sonya. Is it Teramaton? Oh, for the dot team? Yeah, you can do, I mean, honestly, you can go anywhere, right? Nico Nana, Shadow Flame Hoyan, Teramaton, all those places are good targets for you. You got the reference altar. Nice. Going a little bit schizo every time I see the Swift Raid Rev. I agree. I'm just saying, the voices are pretty loud and clear. I'm denying them for you guys. So I can be a relatable player. know, it kind of feels bad, right? It's going to drop me the amber, and then I'm going to be stuck here for even longer. Hey, come on. Take the turn. Thank you. Bye-bye. It was close. It was actually so close. I clicked on it and I saw the bloodbath and smite, and I was like, bro, I swear if it was exactly that, I would have just, that would have been, and we were so close, so close. And he was like, I'm testing you. I'm gonna test you real quick. They had me in the first half, I won't lie. Come on, land on land. Doesn't matter. It's already dead. Bye-bye. I mean, we're pretty close. How many more resets do we have? We have 6. Okay, we definitely should hit it today. So we'll go here. This is the one. We need 2 more of this. Very close. And we're still gonna have to reconfigure the, well, definitely these, and then, yeah, I mean, honestly, you kind of need the tankiness on her. Because the whole point is she has to survive. Sonya is Codex only. I mean, I'm using her on Codex here, but in Tiamat I don't use her on Codex. It just depends on the content for the shell. But I use Bramble Battle Well everywhere else. Actually, no, just in general everywhere. Not everywhere else, just everywhere. Nah, you don't have to do it. Like, I just do it here because it ends up being slightly better, but it doesn't really matter. You can just run her on Jackal. Or even Artisan. More shields. Anyone attacking me? No. Sage. I do need to get this. Man, I don't look forward to having to do all of this though. And this resets in 2 days. Yeah, we need to work towards this. So we can raise 1 character to... What's my next 6-star? I mean, it's definitely... I mean... Definitely do that. It's definitely between these. Arguably, I should 6-star her as well because the tankiness helps a lot, but her it's pretty important. Probably do her. We can wait though. We'll see what happens. We still need the lighthouse if we're going to do it, so. I guess that's the argument, right, behind Beyontin or Veronica. Because I can do them right away. Yeah, we'll just wait. We'll be patient. Yeah, I'll probably just finish this up tomorrow. I'll just leave it on auto run and go to bed. So I'm going to finish up here for tonight just because I do want to try to go to sleep on time. I'm just going to run this and then I'm going to go to bed. So that's it for today. I will stream a bit tomorrow as well. I don't know what I want to do tomorrow though, so we'll see. Maybe I'll do an account review or two, but I need to debate it. So we'll see. That's gonna be it for tonight. So thank you. Hopefully for those who watched the video, it gives you a rough idea of like where I'm going with my account, why I'm making my decisions, some of the tricks that I'm trying to build towards. Yeah, I mean, it's a short stream. Well, actually, yeah, I mean, 3.5 hours. That's not bad. It's above average. You just came in late, Larry. To be fair, I started early. This time. So that's because I had a bunch of stuff that I wanted to do, so, and talk about. 3.5 is fine. You know, where I want my streams to be are about like 3 hours, so I don't want it to be too long. But yeah, cool. We'll leave it to that. Oh, also, I will say this. If one of my guild members win the EWC, I will likely be able to get to account review them. One is already agreed. The other one I've asked the question to. So I think that would be cool. So hope Depor or Kecker win. Hopefully. And I'll look into if I'm allowed to co-stream the EWC, because I don't know if I'll get in trouble if I do that. And, you know, I've only just gotten my foot in the door with XD. I don't really want to like piss them off. So I'll ask the question, and if they say it's okay, then we'll do it. Yeah. So I'll go ask the question right now, and then I'm gonna go to bed. So, hey, peace, guys. Chat tomorrow.